One of these days, I'm going to remember this.
We'll figure it out.
You're welcome to just let it sit while that shows up, and you can chit chat with people before you go live or make your video live. But
is it not yet? I thought that's what...
it's live, but your camera, making your camera live.
Ah,
but it's up to you. Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
thrust it.
Also,
most smartest.
It's playing. It's paused.
Oh, I don't. Why is it like that? Okay, yeah. All right. Yep, we're good. Hello, 2 people watching so far. Hey, shut up. Rude.
Oh.
Alrighty, let's pop this chat out so I'm not watching myself in 3 different screens. Okay. Yep, that's good with gin.
It's really good. I was surprised at first. I mean, I know Jen goes with juice.
Fruit.
Yeah, fruit. But I was kind of like, I don't know. And I tried it. I was like, ooh.
Sean and your mom are here. Hi. Sorry, I'm going to be crunching chips right into this microphone.
We've gotten into a bad habit of eating while recording. We need to be able to mute the...
Yeah. RW is here on the night shift. What do you do for work? Well, now I'm curious. I haven't worked at night.
Night shift from...
Since I worked at the captioning company.
Did you work nights?
I didn't work nights, but I often had to stay very late if I couldn't get coverage. We busted out the slushy machine again. It's not super slushy.
We don't understand how the thumbs down work.
Fine, screw you guys. Oh, hotel manager for the Marriott in Philly. Cool.
Ooh.
Love that. I worked at a hotel in college.
I was going to say, Kristen knows.
I loved it. That was, until the job I have now, that was my favorite job.
So actually, one of my... We need to get his face off the screen. Okay. One of my categories for the year end was like memes or things that I found funny.
Yeah.
And I have that, I saw it on Instagram, so I don't know if that's its home. But it was an Instagram video of an actress comedian named Lisa. It's Lisa Pedace, Pedace.
Okay.
And it's the one of the 2 friends who run into each other at the store and have the like, we should get together next month. And she's like, how about last month? And she was like, last month was great.
Yeah.
I watched that clip
It's so funny.
so many times. It just captured something about the like...
It feels like a very millennial experience.
Well, because you like love these people and want to like put your all into it, but also sometimes like prioritizing social interactions is like one of the cycles of hell.
It is not it.
And just the way at the end where she's like, I'll see you later, not if I see you first. And she just goes, fun. But she has one that I can't remember if I sent you or not, but it's when you work the front desk at a hotel and 4 like women come to ask for where they should go to dinner.
Oh.
And they just go on this like roundabout.
I love it.
It's really fun. I should see if I can find it.
Also, I find it fundamentally incorrect that 4 or 5 women one of them wouldn't have already made the plan of where they're going to dinner. And it's me. I'm the one. Your mom says you're missing a $1.50 promo right now.
Okay, sorry.
Also, Mystic Cinema is here too.
Woo woo.
All right, this is not SpawnCon, but we're gonna try all these Melinda's sauces on our chicken because they were like $1 each, and I felt like I had to.
What are they?
They're just like they're kind of spicy, I think. Not all of them, but they're kind of spicy, and it's just like a sauce company, Melinda's. I've heard of them before.
I was gonna say I didn't know if it was like trendy or something.
Yeah, it's a little trendy.
This is 3 out of 5 hots.
Oh, is there? Oh, yeah, there is a little scale. Okay, so this one's 4 out of 5, but the Thai sweet chili and the green sauce are only 1, as is the Polynesian.
I'm like shockingly a real Ariana Grande when it comes to. Did you watch her hot ones?
I saw a couple clips of it. She's totally fine, right?
She kept being like, when do we get to the spicy ones? And he's like...
I love it when he's fighting for his life, and the guest is like, no, this is great. This is fantastic. I love everything about it. All right, well, I'm going to let you steer the conversation since you also seem to have like a...
Well, I just wrote a bunch of notes.
Like a... I don't know the word I want. Look, it's been a hard year.
Well, it's been... The year was backloaded. Like, a lot. There's been a lot of change.
Why else do you think I'm drinking a pineapple Fanta and gin slushy?
At 6 o'clock on...
At this rate, I'm not going to make it till New Year's. Or till midnight.
Well, we got to, because when we're done streaming, we're going to go watch Wicked. And I'm so excited. It'll be your second. It'll be my third.
Second, and my husband's first, because he did not come with us when we saw it.
He wasn't really... It's not his thing.
No, it's not. He doesn't love musicals, but he will watch them. And since it got so much buzz and we both loved it, and Rachel was the toughest sell, and Rachel loved it too. And so when Rachel loved it too, he was like, all right, fine.
I said this to you earlier, but I was like, I don't think that there's any reality where he's like, that's my favorite movie of the year. But I think he'll like it more than he thought he would. But I also feel like he'll be good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. They're starting to like eke out glimpses at part 2.
Oh.
You're going to love Elphaba's look.
Yeah, no shit.
It's like...
Oh, not an evil witch.
Well, it's like her hair's down, because that's the best way to tell if a woman's evil.
Okay, but... Don't get me started. But also... Her like micro braids are like such a moment, and I kept on seeing black girls on Twitter being like, "Girls don't want a boyfriend. Girls want Elphaba's micro braid wig."
I didn't realize it was going to be like. I was like, "Oh yeah, cool. Like that's a great detail," and I didn't realize it was going to be such a like cultural.
It's like it's like first of all,
touch like moment.
They're really good braids.
Yeah. Well, I saw those memes where they're like, "Who in Munchkinland
is doing her hair like this?" I don't know that the bear doctor.
I want to know what happened to Dolce Bear. Are we gonna find out? Is that just the end?
I mean, I think she was fine when
I'm
last
afraid
we saw her.
something bad is happening in Oz.
Well, yeah, like you mean to all of the people. So, okay, so the thing for me that I didn't really realize, even despite having read the book however many years ago.
Oh yeah, her pretty purple dress. I'm so excited for it.
We've just already met all of the. Like the Scarecrow and the Lion and the Tin Man. We've already met them all.
Kind of. In one way or another.
I mean, but like 100% we have. Like we just definitely have.
I can't find it. I don't remember what I was looking at. They had like 2 shots of like them.
Yeah.
And she still had the hat, but like her hair was down and it's like a coat.
Ooh.
But it's like it almost looks like it's made out of like black duct tape.
Ooh. We love a good coat moment. Okay.
I hope there's a couple others. I understand that Elphaba isn't a costume change queen the way that Glinda is. And also, hopefully...
Even Elsa had multiple dresses.
As great as this blue-purple dress is that's coming, I hope there's more than just that.
I'm sure.
Well, there's the wedding dress, which I do like. Zach was pretty brutal. Zach was like, it looks like something for David's bridal. And I was like...
Zach ain't wrong, boo.
I think it's beautiful, and I like that it's a different crown.
It is beautiful. I do like the crown. I can't make a full judgment until I see the whole thing.
Sure. I don't like this pageant crown. No. I wish they had gone dewdrop tiara. And also they think the girl from Abigail is Dorothy.
Ooh. Okay. I'm down for that.
So, let me see. Wicked Part 2.
Ooh. Mystic Cinema. What is a movie that was released this year, I assume this year, that you enjoyed but didn't absolutely love with the rest of the world?
I can check my list.
That's a good question.
Oh, I thought Challengers was fine.
Oh, yes.
It was
exactly.
fine.
I didn't even put that on my list because I didn't like it enough to be in a top 10 situation.
I thought it was a very good character study.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it was like 2.5 hours.
Here's the other thing too,
and there were 3 characters.
Is everybody? Oh, theirs was Deadpool and Wolverine. That's a hot take.
I don't know how hot it is. For me, that's a hot take. I loved Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, the issue for me is like, yes, Challengers was too long, and then also. In addition to that,
I feel like it wrote a check it didn't cash.
100%, because I feel like the issue with Luca Guadagnino is that like he really came out swinging with Call Me by Your Name, and then everything is like the next sexy movie from Luca Guadagnino, and I'm like, They were not in a throuple. It's not that sexy. Also, I might be the only person on Earth that doesn't find tennis grunts in any way appealing.
Oh, I mean...
But...
I mean...
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I liked it. Again, we're in a place where it's like, I appreciated the craft. I love a Trent Reznor, Atticus.
That was my favorite part, Ross,
yeah. Soundtrack. And again, I liked a lot of the places where it, like, flirted, but it ultimately, I feel like, just flirted with us a bunch. And I'm just like, You're just going to edge us for 2.5 hours? And, I mean, I loved I liked all of her looks.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, wig.
Mm-hmm.
The, like, kind of short, kind of blonde one. And again, I'm like, I couldn't be happier that it was, like, the year of the rat boy.
Oh, I
love
love a good rat boy.
Well, do you? Because remember the one from Planet Fitness?
That was a rat boy from Bithlo, Florida.
It was from Oviedo. We were in the Rio Pinar.
Okay, that's where we were. I don't think that's where he comes from. But Josh O'Connor and what's his name?
Mike Face.
That's a kind of rat boy, a hot possum that I can get behind.
Well, we can actually just go into the movies if that's what I like. I run into this problem all the time with YouTube. Is I like try to wait for the like energy to like build organically. Like I'm very like let's get this simmering. Like let's But the problem with YouTube is people are like, you got 10 seconds and I'm moving on.
That's it.
So
Sorry, these sauces are compelling.
Are they?
They've all been spicier than I feel like than one pepper. So this 4 pepper one is going to be a real. Maybe I should have done less. Go.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So this in no way, shape, or form is a like top 10 list because I don't even think it's 10. I think it's like 15. But I've been approaching last year and this year. You'll notice we never actually got to last year, but I've been approaching it more like a year in review where it's like, because there's so many things that I just don't get to. Because here's the list of movies I haven't seen, all of which I think could easily be on this list. Mm-hmm. So I didn't see Immaculate.
Oh!
I started to watch Kill Count, and then I realized it was stylish, and I was like, oh, I need to watch this.
Yeah, it's good.
I heard it doesn't seem like it has any right to be, but hot take, warm, cold take, I don't know. Sydney Sweeney's a good actress.
She's really good.
And I don't know if it's just because she's so willing to lean in to the joke. Like, she's so willing to, like, she's doing whatever that Sasquatch soap.
Oh,
like,
is she?
Yeah. And, like, part of me is like, girl, this is beneath you. But another part of me is like, I don't know, get your money. God knows what's going to happen.
Well, you heard she's mid now.
Sure. Okay. I like mid girls.
Because she was not wearing makeup in a bikini.
Mm-hmm. In her, like, Key Largo
in
home.
Her own home.
That she bought. Do you remember that house?
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
So I didn't see Immaculate. I didn't see Fall Guy.
Oh, it's so funny. Maybe we should react to that. That could be our January reaction.
Okay.
For
it's
you
decided.
Guys, it'll be on Patreon. We will at some point in the next couple weeks. We will react to Fall Guy and put that on Patreon.
Because that
it's so darling.
I was saving it for a potential reaction, and it's the thing is because we actually just watched season 1 of Interview with the Vampire. I know you guys were like super like excited for that. We are gonna do season 2 and then 3 when it comes out, and we did react to season 1. We are probably not going to react to season 2 and 3 because it's one of the shows
definitely not 3. We'll see.
Maybe 2.
We'll see about 2.
It's one of the shows we watch with her husband, so it's like family time.
He loves it.
Does he really?
He did. He loved it. Yeah. That's which is why he was also very annoyed by Mayfair Witches.
Oh,
because he was like, "Are you shitting me?" Like, the other thing was so good.
But so we reacted to it, but we're just like enraptured.
That's the other thing too, is like I don't think it's gonna be a very like good reaction.
Like we make a couple of funny comments, and like I jumped a handful of times because it was a little bit
with the fist through the priest's head.
I mean, I'd say spoiler, but it's the first episode.
No, it's the first episode.
It was both sexier and more violent than I was anticipating. I thought it aired on cable, so I was expecting like we'd get some F words. Like that's all I was thinking, and it was edgier than that. And again, if you're waiting, I loved it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the problem we have for reactions is it's like what's something that we both are willing to watch, because it does change the viewing experience when we're sitting in the office with
Yeah.
like all the lights on and stuff.
Especially for something like that.
And it's like what will elicit good reactions from us, and what will people be interested in watching reactions of. And so I've kind of like siphoned it down to horror and comedy. It's
Okay,
like
yeah.
those two things are kind of what I feel like are the best.
I agree.
So I haven't seen Immaculate. I haven't seen Fall Guy. I haven't seen Fly Me to the Moon. It was
We didn't
apparently
watch that
good.
either. Will's got it, so we
Yeah.
could at some point.
I haven't seen Conclave. I heard that was good.
I did too. When you told me that you wanted to watch it, I haven't seen it either. But I was like, the movie about the popes. I was like, what is happening?
I heard it was good.
Yeah.
I hate saying this, but I heard there's not a twist, but there's like an element of it that changes the movie a little bit.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, then I just want to watch it.
So it's like, is it like fictional popes? Though?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I still haven't watched Maxine.
Neither have we.
And I loved Pearl.
Yeah.
I liked X.
You did watch X.
I loved Pearl. I haven't watched Long Legs, although I know that meme. I know something about Long Legs.
Okay. It's fine.
Oh, you watched it?
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Okay.
Will and I talked like a decent amount about it. It is good, and it is atmospheric, and Micah Monroe is really good because she's in It Follows.
Yeah. I wanted her to do more.
Yeah. Well, she dated Joe Keery for a while.
Did she?
Yeah, for like 6 years, like a long time. So it's not bad. It just I don't, in a shocking twist for me, I don't think Nick Cage was cast properly. It's like it's such a swing that it's almost too much. It's almost distracting.
I haven't seen Honora, and I have a feeling I'm gonna love that.
Yeah, we haven't watched either, but we've got it.
I haven't seen Smile 2 because I haven't seen Smile 1.
We watched
I've heard
Smile
both were good.
1. I watched it for the first time this year. I loved it. I would watch it again with you, and we can react to that too if you want.
That's what I was thinking.
And then we could watch the second one, because Will wants to see it as well. Gratian, you are not late. We started maybe 15 minutes ago.
We're covering the movies we haven't seen.
Yeah. Also, Sean, I don't think anybody is wrong for liking Long Legs. It was not checkmark 100 for me. Like it's like there are some spooky parts, and especially the beginning. There's like like at the very beginning, there's a thing that happens that I was like, whoa, God, like we're in it.
I know there's that like woman that looks like the Snickers commercial.
That's Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I know.
It's a man. It's not.
Oh,
he's not
okay.
playing a woman. Mystic Cinema coming in hot with the hard questions. Are there any lessons that you would like for television and film industry to learn from their recent successes and failures? Yeah. Number 1, how dare you?
Read it again?
Are there any lessons that you would like for the television and film industry to learn from their recent successes and failures?
I mean, this is such worthless advice because it's subjective.
And also, nobody in charge is watching this, despite how much I still think I should run Warner Brothers.
Make it good. You gotta make something good. You gotta have somebody who
You have to give
cares.
a shit. Someone
Yeah.
has to give a shit.
And I understand. I say this every time. I'm not naive. I understand it's a business. I even think it's a good idea to factor business decisions into creative decisions.
But it shouldn't be the only.
But they're trying to do it like a formula or a recipe, and I'm sick of it because they somehow learned, especially from this year, Disney's lesson is we want sequels, and that is not what we want.
No.
Maybe it's what's getting people in the doors this year because of the brand familiarity,
Yeah.
and because I've said it in a couple of our reviews, but I'm having a hard time because some of it I can't tell if it's personal. Like I'm going to be turning 40 this year. So part of me is like, are things not as good as they used to be, or have I just aged out of a lot of this stuff?
Because some things are as good as they used to be. There are things like Nosferatu, and there are things like Wicked, and there are things like The Substance that are really, really good and interesting and new. But at the same time, it's like, nobody wanted a sequel to Moana.
Well-
the beauty about Moana is that it ends on a starting point.
I mean, I would go as far as to say I want a sequel to Moana, but I want it to be deserving of its predecessor and not a rushed Disney Plus show that they canceled and then re-edited and threw it on the big screen because they needed a win.
Yeah, which also,
And-
we are talking out of our ass a little bit. We haven't seen Moana
No.
2, but also I'm, like, not interested.
I've heard it's fine. I mean, my brother, it's one of his favorite movies. And I was like,
Moana?
yeah. And I was like, how was it? He was like, it's fine.
Ugh.
And I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
bored. I'm so bored. I feel like that fucking gif
Lindsay
of Lindsay Lohan from the the Liz and Dick. Like, and that's why the handful of things that I really liked, because we talked about, we just did our review on Nosferatu, and honestly, well, yes, what I was about to say is, honestly, both of us were sort of medium on it, specifically. But the movie as a whole,
Yeah.
we're like, yes. I mean, at least they did something.
Yeah.
At least it felt like...
Here's the thing. So, okay, I'm gonna, because Ari Aster and, what is his name? Robert Eggers happened at the same time, essentially. They, like, came into prominence at the same time. I always talk about them together. And the thing is Ari Aster made this movie called Beau is Afraid that I thought was dog shit. I hated every second of it. It's like The Odyssey, but boring and ugly. And I didn't like anything
So, like
about
Christopher
it.
Nolan's The Odyssey?
Don't get me fucking started. And so,
Prove me wrong, Chris! Prove me wrong!
He just won't. He
I'm
simply
daring
won't.
you right now.
So anyway, I hated that. But the thing is that Ari Aster and Robert Eggers have built up so much goodwill that, like, just because I didn't like Beau's Afraid and I didn't love Nosferatu doesn't mean that's it. But it's like Disney is on their, like, 15th chance. And I'm like, you've only got a dozen more before.
Did you watch Inside Out too?
No.
You haven't?
No.
I wondered.
I, like, do
You love
and
the first
don't.
one so much.
The first one is very specific and emotional to me because I was a kid who moved around a lot because my dad was in the military. And so it's very specific and emotional to me. And I think the brilliance of having the emotion of joy have to realize that you have to be sad sometimes is so interesting. And while I do think that emotions like nostalgia and anxiety are also important and can and should be explored, I'm not necessarily sure a sequel to my most beloved Pixar movie is the place I want that to happen. So,
Well, you'll see it at some point, right?
I will watch it at some point. It's not like The Lorax.
And we'll let you know.
Or The Giver.
Yeah. If we I watched The Giver. We'll let
Can't do it.
we'll let you know if we're eating our words. That's Kristen will.
I will do it. I will do it.
She did it in Wicked.
I
She was
did
like,
it
I
with
will eat
Wicked.
my hat. No, it just I kind of figured you hadn't seen it, and so I planned to see it before. But it doesn't matter how many days there are; these things still sneak up on you.
Woof.
But
So busy.
No,
And I'm in week 2 of being not working, and I'm like, I really wish I didn't make the most money in this house. I hate it. I had to go back to work on Monday.
But no, back to the question. Again, it sounds trite, like it sounds like a dumb, of course, observation, but tell a good story.
Yeah.
Find someone who wants to tell that story. Find someone who's passionate about the story. Like I was talking to Zach about Snow White, and I was
Oh
like,
God, we're still staring down the barrel of that
Yeah.
too.
and I mean, I'm gonna watch it.
I'll go.
I mean, I'm gonna look at it, and frankly, there are entire chunks of it that I don't think look as bad as everyone else is saying. That does not mean I think it's going to be good. That just means that based on what I've seen, I'm actually a little intrigued. My problem is I wish it felt like it was born from a place of love and admiration for the character of Snow White and the legacy of Disney's first animated feature.
Yeah.
And not from a,
Again,
well, what do we have left
a
that we
cash
haven't
grab.
wrung?
Yeah, completely.
Because it's because I said to him when we were talking, but I was like, the entire movie feels like it's trying to justify its own existence. And I shouldn't feel that. Like, I should feel like wanting, I don't know. So, yeah. I mean, the example.
Make it good.
Well, the example I use anytime, we have this conversation every time we do a live, but it's the Guy Ritchie and Aladdin. I don't believe for one second Guy Ritchie had a passion for Aladdin. And if he did, let me know so I can stop saying this.
No, you're totally right, though, because I got as close in our last live to saying this point as I think I ever have. Because I was like, during the last live, I was like, you know what, actually, I understand why they probably reached out to Guy Ritchie, because he's the, like, you know,
the hoodlum chase scenes.
Chases in the city and stuff, like, I get that. But also, you're right, like, to my knowledge, Guy Ritchie has no affinity for
Bollywood musicals
or so
extravagant, sort of lavish.
Like, what are we doing?
So I still haven't finished my haven't seen. Or are there more questions?
Mystic Cinema is Entertainment Lover. Thank you for that. They're on their other channel.
I
appreciate that, because I was like, usually it's not this person coming in with these questions. And then they say they have beef with Disney because they're holding that Princess and the Frog TV series hostage from me.
What? Yeah, what's happening? Didn't they announce that like 3 years ago?
I don't know. And then Sean is still dying to see Cuckoo with Hunter Schafer. That's on my list for sure. Actually, I think Will's got it.
Does he?
Yeah. And then it's only 30 minutes till the countdown for you. So we are going to be with some people for the year. Yeah, we're not going to be here till midnight Eastern time.
Probably not.
I'm not going to be here till midnight Eastern time.
So I also still have not seen Beetlejuice. And
us either. Yeah.
That's because I was kind of waiting to watch it with my brother, because we both love the original so much. I haven't seen Heretic, which apparently was really good. That surprised me a little bit.
It's A24.
And
it's Sophie Thatcher from Yellow Jackets.
And then we haven't seen The Last Showgirl yet, which I think we will like. I specifically have a very special affinity for
Pam Anderson.
Well, Las Vegas and Showgirls.
We're trying to see if that comes to the local art house.
The art house theater. So moving into my movie list. I do have to shout out, because we didn't get around to last year's, but my number one of last year was going to be Barbie. Yeah, I loved it.
Same.
I've watched it so many times. I listened to the soundtrack. It goes into that screensaver. Put it on. I
haven't gotten there yet because it still makes me cry when it's on. So I can't. It's not a screensaver for me yet.
And then I loved Saltburn. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I saw a lot of people were super into it, and then a lot of people complained that the people that were into it were freaks, and then a lot of people complained that the people that were into it were lame, and then a lot of people complained that
can't be lame and freaks.
Emerald Fennell is, I don't know. I don't care. I loved it. I thought
it was really good. I think it's similarly to Challengers. I feel like it wrote a check it didn't fully cash.
Yeah, but he fucked that one guy.
Yeah, but he didn't fuck that guy.
No, I understand, but I think it cashed the check. I think it cashed lots of checks. Maybe not the specific one you wanted.
Not the one I wanted. So the other thing too is that that's very similar to the other thing we were talking about, where Promising Young Woman is so specific and personal to me that I was I had really, really high expectations for the next Emerald Fennell movie, and then I was like, it's good.
I also...
you absolutely cannot fault her style or her sensibilities.
Well, I was going to say, but my favorite part of the movie, actually, I didn't like at first. I hated the ending the first time I watched it. Because I was like, this is ridiculous. But on my third time, I was like, it's just full camp. Him monologuing about his evil plan. And I'm like, you know what? It's hilarious. Yeah. Why not? So my movies of the year... I obviously, I put things... I put Madam Web on here.
Oh, boy.
Not because it was good.
No, not good at all.
It's one of the ones that I'm curious if it's going to... Because it was turned into meme fodder. For whatever reason.
We haven't watched Craven yet. Either.
No, I don't know. Yeah, so I take... I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I was going to be for whatever reason, everybody took all their animosity out on Madam Web. And I was like, no, they took it out on Morbius. And they took it out on...
I think the reason that I feel like we saw them taking it out more on Madam Web is because it's women.
Yeah.
The other ones are bad, but nobody's like Aaron Taylor Johnson's never gonna work again.
Well, I don't think anybody. I'm gonna resist the urge to call its reception sexist.
I mean, it's a little.
But I think Dakota Johnson is such a serious actress, and she was. I mean, talk about one foot out the door. I mean, she was so over it.
It's true.
That I think it added a layer to it.
We did do a reaction to that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was absolutely. I remember the part that has stuck with me the most is that she's having these like, she died at the beginning. She has died, passed away, and now she's got these powers, and she gets like a leave of absence from work, and her decision to watch what appears to be the absolute grimmest version of a Christmas Carol you've ever seen.
Which is a story that has some grim versions.
But it was like black and white. Everyone was very gnarled. Like I was like, all right, it seems nuts to me.
But this is what I mean. Where there was enough like weird things in it that I'm curious if it's gonna have staying power in the cult classic. I don't think so. Because I think unfortunately
it is very campy.
Yeah, but I think it's more boring. I think ultimately,
yeah,
it's. There's just little, like, there's elements like the villain being dubbed and her trying to, like...
all about that.
Her trying to climb the wall and just sliding down. Yeah. And then there's that whole flashback scene where she's trying to argue with her mother.
Yeah.
I could see it having staying power in a So Bad It's Good.
Yeah.
I just don't know if we're there yet.
It would be the kind of thing that I feel like because we saw it in the moment, that's not going to work for us. Mm-hmm. But if we were like
10 years younger.
Yeah, and we discovered it in 10 years,
mm-hmm.
we would be like, this is so fucking
stupid.
Funny.
Because it also, I think it depends on where these people's careers go.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, Sydney Sweeney had a hell of a year. You know what I mean? Up, down, left, right. She did it. But speaking of the So Good It's Bad, and actually I don't have a lot to say because I don't really remember this other than remembering enjoying it. I have The Beekeeper.
Oh my God. I would watch it again right now.
Would you? I was going to say, I remember you loved that one, but...
It's so dumb.
Uh-huh.
Like the dumbest. But it was so funny.
The opening scene, spoilers, we're a spoiler show, and again, it's the first 10 minutes of the movie. But the Felicia Rashad, when she, like, killed herself, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing? Holy shit. Like, that was my buckle up moment. Like,
yeah, because you think that, like, they're going to steal her money.
It's almost offensive.
And she's going to go to him and be like, you have to help me. But no, she just fully domes herself and is like, and then he's mad about it. And that's it.
I also have Megalopolis on here. I made it 30 minutes into the movie. And that's not so much to say that I was like, this is so bad, I refuse to watch it. But it was sort of a breaking point where I was like, I either need to not watch this or I need to make a big production about it. Mm. So we're leaning towards big production about it. We might
react to that as well.
It's so weird. And even in just the 30 minutes, there's so many things that I actually want to go to bat for. Like, I actually want to fight for. But it's just a mess.
Yeah.
It's...
Well, because you were on the way to Nosferatu, you were explaining some of it. And you just kept going. And then I was like, all of this is in only the first third. Because you said something about a wedding. And I was like,
what? I said Aubrey Plaza is the only one who's in the movie. Like, who knows what movie she's in. Half of them are in a different movie. The other half are in the movie that they thought they were making. Mm. And it, like, Aubrey Plaza plays a gossip columnist named Wow Platinum. And she's like, she's like the media, basically. And there's this whole scene where they're like on suspended wooden planks hanging over a model city, but it's like also a press conference. And
I just cannot envision how that...
It's what it looks... It's literal.
I believe you.
Adam Driver, and all of their names are too, like, one of their names is Caesar, but one of their names is Cicero, and it's too similar that I get confused who people are.
Well, those are both real people.
Oh, I know. And, like, Adam Driver, or Wow Platinum is banging Adam Driver. She has a line delivery that Aubrey nails, where she's like, I know you're anal as hell, but I'm oral as hell. And she, like, drops to her knees in his lap.
I believe you so hard that she nailed the delivery, but, like, no.
and then I was explaining how she's married to John Voight, who's, like, the king. And you were like, what? And I was like, well, the wedding's in the movie. And that's when Will was like, this was all in the first 30 minutes? And Grace Vanderwaal plays, like, a pop star named Vesta something or other. And she's, like, a virgin that comes down on a moon.
Oh, Vesta, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, they make sure.
Wink.
They make sure. But it's just, and the thing I said to you is, it's a mess. Because it's like, I actually love both Natalie Emmanuel and Chloe Fineman. But I was like, if you take these two women and put them together in a movie and say, you're socialites, go, they're going to sprint in different directions.
It's not,
it doesn't. And then you have got Shia LaBeouf in, like, Roman drag, and it's just, it was a lot. It was a whole lot. In the first of my good movies, I have full chest with my whole chest. Hot Frosty.
Yes! I fucking loved Hot Frosty.
It is so perfect. It's just the right amount of silly.
When you tell me Netflix made a Hallmark Christmas movie, that is the thing I want. That's the thing. Make that again.
Because I edited, like, our reaction, and I did a real slapdash job because I was going through it, but I spent a lot of time with it. And there's so many places where I'm like, that joke's funny. It's not redefining cinema by any means, but it was a funny joke.
It doesn't need to. And also, I would argue that Craig Robinson and Joe Lo Truglio kind of do redefine cinema. Their stuff is the funniest part of that movie.
But even Lacey Chabert, she's good in that movie. Like, her acting choices are appropriate.
Yeah.
And
Plus, it was the debut of the Slushie Machine.
It was the debut. My title was The Slushies May Be Cold, but the Frosty is Hot. But no, the amount of respect and admiration I have for her, because talk about a career.
Yeah.
She's done it all. And I think a lot of people...
She was the original Meg from Family Guy.
I think a lot of people write her off as, like, the Hallmark Christmas movie girl, which, I mean, that's like a cash cow if you do it right.
It's just like a soap opera actress. It's just like Susan Lucci.
Mm-hmm. And just the way that she's able to bring... Like, because I've watched a handful of those, like, cheesy Christmas movies, and we watched, like, The Merry Gentleman, and I wanted so badly to be on that movie's side.
Not good.
But it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, there weren't jokes. There weren't stakes. It didn't make sense.
They were very hostile with each other, even once they were, like, in love, which took 3 days.
And it makes you realize or appreciate what Lacey is doing. And... also, just the structure of the movie Hot Frosty, like, I think it is so funny to bring in the doctor and have the doctor...
Katie Mixon, the doctor.
Well, yes, she's funny, but to have her literally instruct the audience not to worry about it.
No, yeah, he's probably a snowman.
She was like, yeah, I mean, but isn't anything about Christmas crazy? Like, the way that it's like, oh, I'm not going to worry about this. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to let myself get bogged down.
So I loved that. And then I also loved her coming back at the end to be like, he's gone, sweetie. Because I was like, you haven't even touched him. We're not feeling for a pulse. We're not doing anything. He's just dead. Okay.
I don't know. I was, and this actually goes to the question of what would you tell, I forget who was it, Entertainment?
Yeah.
Yeah. When they were like, what would you tell studios or execs or whatever? It's like, make it, even if you're making a dumb Christmas romance, make it fun, make it interesting, make it funny, make it cute, make it weird, make it sexy, do something.
Yeah.
Something.
Because like the way that The Merry Gentleman came across, it was like AI wrote a Christmas movie, and
it
then
was so hollow.
and then two actors that are good but don't have chemistry with each other were asked to act it, and I'm just like, it's not it.
There was almost like a weird, and I mean, I hate to go in on them because, like you said, I like both of them.
Yeah.
I was there, but there was like almost this weird, like subconscious hostility within, like from the actors.
And I think it was more from Britt than it
Yeah.
was from Chad.
And I just couldn't get over the whole, like, they on two separate occasions, they made a comment about the bar being a hole in the wall with holes in the wall. And we literally never see that.
Yeah.
We never make a joke about it. Like, we never build upon it. And up to including by the end when he, like, pops the champagne.
It should have made a hole in the wall.
And or corked a hole in the wall.
Or like we could have been like sconces falling down or something, and that's why like Chad Michael Murray's there. I don't know. I feel like there's a decent movie in there. There is a movie on par with Hot Frosty in The Merry Gentleman, but nobody involved was capable of bringing it out.
Also, I mean, Hot Frosty danced circles around them with the, like, risque innuendo and stuff. Like, they're Hot Frosty. And I think it was all PG.
Yeah.
Like, I think children would be perfectly fine to catch it. But The Merry Gentleman was just so devoid of chemistry.
No,
and,
really.
like...
And also, I don't remember the guy's name, but that TikTok guy that I've showed you before, he was the one that was watching Seventh Heaven for like a really long time. He kept on, in his review of it, he kept on making comments about her bringing the wig back, like she had stolen the wig from the Jingle Bells.
Wait, are we sure that was that Trixie and Katya?
No,
Okay.
it was the guy. I mean, they
made
commented
jokes about
on
the wig too.
because it's bad, and it's like it's not good, and it doesn't look good. And Entertainment Lover said I didn't want to say it, but the two of them were very mismatched as romantic partners, and like, yeah, agreed. Like it just didn't work. And again, I like both of them.
I was gonna say that movie had Beth Broderick and Marla Sokoloff in it.
Yeah.
Like those are two like.
Marla Sokoloff could have had chemistry with Chad Michael
Well,
Murray.
yeah. Like it. I was like, it's not so much that those are heavy hitters, but those are like tried and true,
I love
like
Marla
performers.
Sokoloff. You still have never seen Sugar and Spice,
I have.
but like,
Yeah, I saw it
ages?
once, and it was edgier than what I wanted at the
Oh,
time,
okay.
so I kind of didn't like it, and I feel like now I'll love it.
the actresses do check all your boxes because it's
Marley Shelton.
Marley Shelton. It's also James Marsden
Yeah,
and what's her name?
Alexandra Holden is
That
in
one,
it. Yep.
yeah, and Marla Sokoloff. It's like
Alexandra Holden is underrated, I
Melissa
think.
George is in it too.
Yeah.
She's got brown hair, but it's good. It's like I think it's really funny.
It's written by the same woman as Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Is it? Is that
Yeah.
why it's so good? It's so good.
She wrote like 3 things and they all flopped, and then she just quit.
Ah, the worst.
And I'm like, she knows
I don't
that
think
she
she
is
does.
beloved, right?
I don't think she does.
Ugh.
It's a bummer. So the beekeeper.
I put Trap on mine.
Me too.
Did you really?
I put the trap and they're in the same order too.
What? The Beekeeper
and
Trap? It's not good, but is that the point?
It was great.
Yeah, it's not good, but it was great.
It was great. I love Josh Hartnett.
It was so dumb.
Yeah.
It was twisty and turny.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, because right now it's popular online. It's always popular online to be an asshole, but everyone's like really giving his daughter what for because she's a bad actress, and I'm like, well, she has a couple of line readings that are, we'll go with flat.
Okay, fine. That's not the point of the movie. Is not the stupid teenage
But
daughter.
no, not the daughter, the pop star. His.
Oh, even still.
I was like, I wasn't watching that to bask in her acting glory. I liked how the movie was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I like how it just kept going in these weird directions.
Yeah.
And it's just been a minute since I got to turn my brain off and just watch like a bad movie.
And the thing about M. Night Shyamalan is even when his stuff is like not amazing, like obviously The Sixth Sense and Signs, I would say are his high watermark for movies. I think he still has. First of all, he self-finances all of his movies, so he's not even costing anybody anything. So
You know what I mean?
and which I love that. And then also
Is he one? It's a thing that I like to say. and I haven't thought about it with him, but would you say he's one of the ones that stays in his lane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind if somebody does, like, crazy things as long as they're staying in their fucking lane. Like,
and that's the other thing, too. So anyway, like I said, it's not at the high water mark, but it's like, I still think regardless of that, he still always has like a point of view that he's trying to say. And I do think one thing, which goes back to the Emerald Fennell conversation, and Robert Eggers and Ari Aster, where it's like, you come out of the gate so hard.
so strong.
And it's something that I remember from an interview with Elizabeth Moss when she signed on for The Handmaid's Tale. Because she was like, I didn't really want to do another TV show. And so she was like, usually what happens is if somebody's making a TV show, they've written the pilot. And they've been trying to get it sold forever. So they've worked it and reworked it. And they've looked at it and they've like, it's trimmed, it's perfect. Everything about this pilot is like immaculate. But they haven't worked on the rest of it. So you're looking at this like, 45 to 60 minute thing that's like,
it's like the drawing of the
perfect.
horse.
Exactly. And she was like, when they gave me the scripts for the next 3 episodes, I was like 100% I'll sign on, like no problem. And so I think that's part of the thing where it's like Robert Eggers, Ari Aster, Emerald Fennell, M. Night Shyamalan, who is from the previous generation of like horror people for sure, came out of the gate so strong. Like you can't, there's almost no better movie for like that one big original twist than Signs. Like that is, or not Signs, The Sixth Sense. That's such a good big twist. And then I think the problem is that everybody was expecting that from every other movie he ever made. And I'm like, that's just simply not going to happen.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, he puts twists in everything, but it's that age-old, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yeah.
It's like the twist shouldn't be the thing, shouldn't be the Holy Grail. Mm-hmm. The twist should be something that aids the like I said, one of my favorite things about Trap was that it was twisty.
Yeah.
The twist didn't blow my socks off, but I just enjoyed the fact that I didn't know where the movie was going.
Yeah.
Did I
You did,
okay.
you did. Because that's also like, despite its flaws, it's why you and I actually are like hard defenders of The Village.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the twist is not great. Like, the twist is great, but it's like when you see the monster, you're like, well, that's fucking stupid. Like, the twist about the monster is stupid. But the twist about the whole movie is pretty good. And so it's like, I'll defend The Village as being excellent till the day I die.
Oh, I mean, and when I was in film school, one of our teachers was like, if that was his first movie, it would be God tier.
Amazing. But that's, yeah. I liked Trap.
I do have Dune on here. I need to see it again.
The second one?
Yeah.
I've got it on mine as well.
I didn't love my experience with it. I was having personal problems, and also I was at capacity with, like, wartime stuff when we were watching that, and I don't know.
I find that's so funny you say that, because I am finding myself very, very drawn to, like, spycraft political thrillers right now.
We're gonna get a lot.
I know, I'm so
We're
excited.
gonna get a lot.
I'm so excited.
That guy wrote me back.
Yes.
He's gonna send me fucking like 3 holes of a golf video that they did, just to like do a test.
Nice.
And that's like as much as I can ask for.
Hey, sweet.
And hopefully that'll just be nice. Like, if I can get nice side work out of it.
Husband editor Will has
Just
a new
maybe
job
got
potential.
A job. Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Sorry.
No,
It always when the audio doesn't pick up, it always looks like we're having like a religious
like
experience.
a conversation with God.
Because we both just stop and go.
Well, when I do the videos, I like clean them.
Oh.
And there's a gate on it, so like I'm probably picking up right now.
Yeah.
But
You should say hi.
Oh, yeah, Entertainment Lover said congratulations. He has a job. This is just like some freelance editing.
y'all talking about the substance yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, but we're going to get there. We're not really going in order. This is not in any kind of order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's getting me more drank.
I'm next.
Yeah, you're next.
I actually have. Well, I won't. Where were we?
Dune 2.
Oh, Dune 2. Yeah, I love Denis Villeneuve. I love the cast. I love, like, the craft The filmmaking craft was excellent. And again, the costumes were stunning.
Mm-hmm.
They're not what I would have done if I was given Florence Pugh as a space princess. One chainmail look would have been fine. I wouldn't have given her that like smock with that like page boy haircut and like
Okay, so
I loved. Go ahead.
I've come around on her hair because I realized quite late, like belatedly, that it's because she shaved her head for We Live in Time, and so it was like growing back. But this whole like 2 years, I've been like, Florence Pugh, grow your fucking hair out.
I would have just, having not seen the 80s movie Dune, I think I would go in a bit more of a Virginia Madsen route than I would with,
Ooh, and now it's slush. You can turn it down a couple clicks, yeah. Is there gin in here?
Yeah, I put as much as I thought you had in there when I saw it before.
Let's see.
Like a finger.
Yeah, now it's slushy.
I did love, I forget the name of the planet, the Austin Butler, Lea Seydoux,
That's
that like ultraviolet planet.
That's the Harkonnens'
That
home planet.
was and seeing it in theaters was really, that's another thing. I'm mad at movie theaters. Just kind of across the board.
Let's not get started on that.
Well, I also didn't realize they were holding, I didn't realize how much they had paywalled a good movie experience. Because there's movies where I was like, why does this sound terrible? And I'm like, oh, because I didn't spring for the Dolby because I was selecting based on convenience and not the most premium experience possible.
I refuse. When I bought the tickets for us to go see Nosferatu, I was like, 1, 2, 3 tickets, $60 with the convenience fees and everything.
But the sound was good. It was a premium experience. And one of the first things I said was, I was like, man, the sound was good in that.
It was a standard matinee.
I thought it was Dolby, but okay.
Not, unless they like upgraded all of the theaters, because they've done like a very weird renovation on that movie theater.
Yeah, they renovated all the things that didn't need renovating.
Yeah, but the bathrooms...
There's still one urinal. It's still broken.
Also, the toilets just straight up don't flush. I was in there with my foot just like on the flush.
And no, this is not the same as the One Night in Soho. That's a different hellscape bathroom.
That's a different movie theater. It's also a Regal, but it's a different one.
So, I did put Abigail on my list.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about it.
I enjoyed it.
Come out last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We watched it in August.
We are getting lushy with these slushies.
Yeah, if you want to watch along, we watched Abigail
We
on
did,
the Patreon. I really liked it. I haven't memorized their names yet. It's like a duo that did the Scream 5 and 6.
Yeah.
I think that they're very clever. I think they're very funny. They're vicious, but they managed to still keep it fun.
Yeah.
As I recall, I think Abigail was maybe a little too long and or went on more than I thought it should have. Like there was a couple of twists and turns
I feel like it was 90 minutes.
Was it?
I feel like it was. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. This actually could use more gin. Yeah, 1 hour and 49.
Okay.
Not so bad.
My biggest complaint with Abigail is I wish it stayed what it started as, which is I can't remember if was Abigail Universal.
I don't know. How do I even tell anymore?
Don't worry about it. Universal has been trying to create a dark universe.
I don't think it's involved in that.
No, I know, and that's why I'm upset.
Oh, okay.
Universal was trying to create a dark universe to rival the MCU, and it's one of the few things that I actually think was a great idea, in spite of every decision they made afterwards being bad.
Yeah.
I don't think Tom Cruise's The Mummy was what we needed to start it with. I think we should have, much like the MCU, started small and let it get bigger. And so if the first was Invisible Man and the second was this new Wolfman, I kind of wish Abigail was the third, and I wished they kept the original script, which was that she's Dracula's daughter. It started as like a remake of the like B-movie, like Dracula's daughter.
Sure.
And I wish that reveal that Giancarlo Esposito was Dracula was in the movie. And also, I think he'd be a fantastic Dracula.
He would be a great Dracula.
And I'm just like,
I mean, it was Matthew Good in the end. Her dad was Matthew Good.
Oh, then who was Giancarlo Esposito?
He was like the one who hired them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Double donkey punch. Either Giancarlo Esposito or Matthew Good would have been a phenomenal Dracula.
He's in a movie. I don't know exactly what it is. I know it's vampires, but he's in a movie with Mia Wasikowska called Stoker, where they are vampires.
As in Bram Stoker?
I don't know. I've always wanted to watch it though.
When I was younger, I thought it was Bram Stoker.
Ooh.
Yeah. That joke was not.
I mean,
I have Furiosa on mine. No?
well, that was fine.
I think I liked it. I thought it was fun. I love Chris Hemsworth. I don't know why he can't.
So I'll say that.
He
agree
can't
with you
get
on
that motor running. It's like
I feel like he has a bad agent, maybe. I don't know. He needs to do more comedy. And like, wow, okay, I really like the Extraction movies.
Yeah.
The second one was campy as hell. It was so silly. But I think he needs to do more comedy. He obviously is a very like muscly, hot guy. But it's just so effortless. It feels so effortless when he's doing comedy, and when he's doing like
But the problem
very serious stuff, it feels hard.
And I think that's a little bit it. I think he's capable of effortless acting, charm, talent, charisma, whatever. But I think far too often in what the vehicles he ends up in, I'm watching him try.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're correct. Also, happy 2025, Sean! Woo!
That was supposed to be a whatever those are called, noisemaker, I guess.
Yeah. Also, Matthew Good was a vampire in Discovery of Witches. You are correct, and it was very good.
Teresa, was it? I was gonna say
it wasn't. It wasn't. I liked the entire show way better than I liked any of the books. But it could have. We got a little in the weeds at the end. Also, that he's not the problem. Him being a vampire is not the problem.
Do you wanna
What?
list one since I'm chewing?
No. I feel like otherwise I saw Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah, you liked that.
That was scary as shit.
Was it?
It was so spooky. It was really good. There was Kaylee Spaney, the one from Civil War, and Priscilla. She was like the lead. And then there was a guy who played her like brother, but he was an android. I don't remember his name. Was it this David Johnson guy, maybe? Yeah. He was phenomenal. Like, really good. And it was really scary because it was really, really...
The android roles are where it seems to be at with the...
Ian Holm and then...
Fassbender.
Yeah, but Lance Henriksen from Aliens. He's one of... I think that's his name. I'm not 100%. He's really good too, but yeah, he was really, really good in the role as her brother because also he's got like a chip, and they like basically put a different chip in him from the like ship that was taken over basically by the aliens, and his prime directive is no longer to keep her safe, it's to keep the eggs safe. And so that's really cool and interesting. And also I feel like we're finally at a place with alien movies where like if again it's good and you are doing it with a deep love of the original like 2 movies, you can like get there with the special effects, because it gets one of the women, the face hugger, and she thinks they get it off her and they think she's okay. But then they have this, like, portable, like, X-ray kind of machine, and she, like, puts it over herself, and you can see it in her, like, and it bursts out like it does with John Hurt. But, I mean, it was, like, hellish. Like, really hellish. But good. I mentioned that it cribs off the original for, like, first 2 a little too much. Like, there's a couple moments where you're like, okay, like, you called it a bitch. Congratulations. Like, good for you.
Remember?
Yeah, but it is really good. I thought it was like really good. The acting was all really good. It was also the guy, the boyfriend from Shadow and Bone with the shaved head that we all thought should have longer hair.
yeah.
He was in it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. And we saw it in the theater with the creepy bathroom.
Yeah.
Will and I went on a date and we had sushi and then watched that, which was
I mean, would you rather have had sushi after?
no.
I liked Civil War. I feel like that's
Me
a
too.
little bit of a hot. Oh, okay.
No,
I
I
feel like
liked
it's a little
it.
bit of a hot take. I think
I
far.
had some issues with it, but I thought it was good.
It's one that I think stays with you.
Mm.
It's not about what, at least for me, my experience. It's not about what I thought it was going to be about, and I like the themes. I like the performances. I liked the conversations. I like the themes and the way that it tackled the storytelling. I think far too many people were way too hung up on the California-Texas coalition trying to, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, that's not the point. Like, that's, and especially with as charged as everything is right now, there's literally not a single political statement or stance he could have taken that would have been right.
Also, it
correct.
actually makes a great deal of sense because they are the two largest economies in our country.
I just every review I saw for that, it's like that part broke the movie for them.
No.
They could not suspend disbelief beyond that. And
Then you can't watch movies.
I mean, I would have been fine if the movie made a more deliberate, political point or endorsement. But again, once you realize that that's not actually the point of the movie,
Yeah, because
it's
it's
more
like,
about journalism.
We're from the point of view of the photojournalists the whole time.
And it's like more about humanity than it is about war specifically. Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it. Alex Garland, I think, falls into that crop where it's like even stuff that I don't like, I still am excited to see he's making something.
I got excited for 28 Years Later.
Why is that bad? Just because
I'm very worried.
You love that movie.
28 Days Later is my second favorite horror movie of all time. And
Halloween
first. Yeah. The original Halloween.
It ends tonight.
Not
Evil
one.
dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
Kyle Richards is going through it. No,
she was one of the better parts.
She really was. I don't love 28 Weeks Later. Like, it's fine, but I only seen it once and I don't remember a lot about it. So I'll definitely watch it again before the new one. But we finally saw the trailer. I hadn't watched it yet, but when we saw Nosferatu, there was a trailer for it and I was like, fuck. I'm very excited. Other than that, we've seen all the same movies, I feel like. Well, maybe that's not true. Let me pull my letterbox back up. Oh no, we did not see all the same movies. I watched a lot of shit this year. Okay, so I watched all of the VHS movies with my husband. Every single one of them. I didn't like most of them. The newest one, in my opinion, is the best one. We also watched a movie called Rebel Ridge, which I liked and thought was really good, but also it made me the most angry I've almost ever been. Because it was and it was Don Johnson too, who I was like, you're good at being villainous. I like his, stupid white man face for being villainous, but I was like, you are...
From Knives Out?
Yeah, he's just a dirty cop in it, and it sucks. And then we watched a stupid movie with Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry called The Union. To be honest, it ended up being probably the best of the three really shit movies that we watched. Because we also watched the one with John Cena and Awkwafina called Jackpot, and that was pretty bad. And we watched the one called Instigators with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, which that was the first thing that Will said. Basically, what it feels like is they wrote it it wasn't not AI, but they wrote it before the strike, but they filmed it during the writer's strike, but before the actors went on strike. so they couldn't improv or
So they
do
were
anything.
locked every which way.
So they were locked every which way, and like it's just it because the two of them are like good, and like it should have been better, and it was not. And then I was trying to see, we did watch The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which was pretty good. I liked that one actually, kind of, and we watched the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie.
You guys have liked those the Godzilla
well,
movies.
I like them more than Will. I'm just like,
Really? I thought it was
I'm
over
just
there.
like, they're whatever, big monsters.
Kaiju.
So I was like, I remember, because it was when Rachel was still here, and like we hadn't watched it yet, but like an ad for it came up on the TV, and I was like, oh my god, yes. And she goes, why do you like that so much? And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, look at the bisexual lighting on this poster. I was like, you're telling me that like the metaphor for nuclear war in Japan versus the metaphor for the oppression of the black man fighting each other is not like so cool and interesting to you? I was very into it. And then we watched, I feel like the other one must have come out last year because it's not on my thing, but we watched both Rebel Moon movies. Horse shit.
I never did get to them.
Yeah.
Historically, I'm the Zack Snyder fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like it's been a minute.
They are so badly written, so badly acted. The plot makes no sense. It's like, it's just, I almost want to make you do a reaction to them because it's so stupid.
I mean, I will. Is that something you guys want to see? I don't know.
Yeah, you guys let us know because I will suffer through it again. But then we also have to decide if we want to watch the ones that are already out or wait for the R-rated ones.
Wait for
I
the
don't,
R-rated.
I don't think they're out yet.
I was going to say, actually, I can pause on that note and we can cross something off of our list. Speaking of both Kaiju and Zack Snyder, we had gotten a couple requests to watch the Superman trailer.
Yes.
I've seen it.
I watched Trevor's
You
Lego
haven't seen it.
animation.
Yeah. Just say you haven't seen it. Let me remember how this works. Okay.
Booyah. All right, here we go. Get ready for the copyright strike. I'll be honest, I am jazzed as hell about crypto. He's so scruffy. Yeah, I think his hair is too dark. I think that's my main criticism. She's so hot. Her hair's a little dark too.
They kept the John Williams score, but it's an electric guitar.
I hear it. Who is the guy?
You would know him.
Do I? I think he looks great. Look at his all the snow. He wants to play. I like that shot a lot. He's so good. Oh, kaiju. Okay. Oh my god. I got my fingers crossed. Ooh, Millie Alcock. I like that. Oh, and Skylar Gazando's Jimmy Olsen. I like that too. Who was I like? Anthony Kerrigan! Oh, Pruitt Taylor Vince. Yeah, okay. I do know who he is.
So,
I think it looks good.
I think it looks good too.
We'll see.
We will see. My biggest complaint has been I historically like James Gunn. I think he's very talented. I think he's very funny. I think he's very smart.
Historically don't like him.
Well, no, I have liked him.
Well,
I haven't the last couple things. I have thought he's been too mean. And I thought that the last couple, like his Suicide Squad and the Guardians 3, I think he's delighted too much in
suffering.
Yeah, in being mean. And I know that he absolutely has edgelord qualities, but that's just sort of where I'm at. Having said that, I believe he can also do the opposite. Like, I believe that he can curb that instinct, maybe. And I'm not saying that bad or sad things can't happen. I just want them to aid in telling the story.
Yeah.
And as we said, our biggest issue with Guardians 3 is the animal stuff didn't aid in telling the story for me.
No.
I heard that he said he was going full fantasy with it, that this is going to be Superman of the comic books. I have not read the comic books. I only have a passing knowledge of Superman. But the knowledge that I have, this checked off a lot of those. Specifically, I think David is perfect.
I think he looks great. I do think his hair is like a shade or two too dark.
You've said that every time. It doesn't look like anything to me. I don't, because doesn't Superman have black hair?
I mean, Superman has dark hair. He doesn't have hair that looks like it was dyed the blue black darkest color that L'Oreal makes.
I don't know. The moment I saw David, I was like, yes. I wish I could buy stock.
I do think he is well cast.
And
I have no complaints about that. So
pairing him with Rachel is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I really, her casting of Lois Lane was the first place that I went,
Yeah. I think Nick Holt as Lex is good too, which Gratian says Nick Holt is such a better choice for Lex.
I think he looks awesome. I think he looks excellent.
Also, you're totally right, because like the whole vibe of Jesse Eisenberg works for Zack Snyder, but like that doesn't work for this.
And I am thrilled that this world is so clearly already established.
Yeah.
And that we don't have to do another origin story, certainly in that regard. Ironically, that was my biggest issue with Man of Steel, was that I kind of wanted the origin story more conventionally than he gave it, but granted that was 2013. Yeah. So the fact that the world is already established, I love. The fact that we are introduced to this Superman, literally introduced to him down and out, calling for help, supernatural help, in the form of Crypto, his space dog.
Love it.
What?
100%.
What? Like, and that was...
No questions, no notes.
That moment, it's that get by with a little help from my friends quality that I love. It got right into my veins every single time.
I'm excited for a real trailer.
And just like the Superman saving the little girl shot, the little boy praying to Superman... Nathan Fillion with stupid hair. I'm like, so many people are complaining about that.
You'll have to be more specific.
No, but it's just like so many people are complaining about this stuff, and I was like, I don't know. It looks fun. Like, I want to know whatever that eyeball jellyfish thing is that's attacking presumably Metropolis. That's a big enough threat, but not big enough for Lois and Superman not to have like a pep talk. I don't know. I'm very interested and invested and intrigued.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of blown away.
Oh yeah, apparently Millie is Supergirl.
Are we getting her in
Millie
this?
Alcock. It said Kara. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kara.
Because I think Crypto is hers.
Oh, Frank Grillo though.
What's wrong with Frank Grillo?
Yeah. Rick Flag. Which one is Rick Flag?
Isn't he the one from Suicide Squad that your guy was?
Then definitely thumbs down to Frank Grillo.
What's wrong with Frank Grillo? I like Frank Grillo.
I don't like him as much as Joel Kinnaman.
Oh, Joel Kinnaman. That's right. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, that was just a first look. I'm sure that I'm not by no means am I claiming it's going to be the second coming or this great thing, but I'm saying
Could be good.
based on what they chose to show us, which felt like very deliberate choices. And I like his Clark Kent. I think he carries himself differently based on those glimpses.
I mean, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeve did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the last good Superman. No, Henry Cavill was good. The movies weren't, but Henry Cavill was great.
I like Henry Cavill, but he's fine. Yeah.
Did you turn off the picture-in-picture?
I thought I did.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Yeah. So, finishing or still working on my year end, I did have Deadpool and Wolverine. I just enjoyed it.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was fun.
We watched
it was
again
funny.
when Arthur was here.
Uh-huh.
It was great.
I liked the cameos. I might get a Lady Pool doll, you know. I thought Emma Corrin really kind of blew me away, other than knowing about them.
Nosferatu, yeah.
My number 2 is Wicked. It's my most favorite.
Okay, I know what your number 1 is, and I cannot believe you didn't say Twisters at any point during your list.
Oh, I had it on here. I swear to God, I had it on here. Maybe when I was copying and pasting.
Twisters was so good. When I was talking to
I don't know that it was so good.
Good. We've watched it twice.
I swear to God, I had Twisters on there.
Okay, so when I was talking to the guy checking us out at the grocery store when we went to go get our chicken,
tell Will to come.
Oh, he was like, "Oh, you guys are having a party," and I was like, "It's just the 3 of us. We like to eat the chicken over a series of days with like salads and stuff." What?
Just be like, "Yep."
Yeah, just a good party.
All into the munching cave.
So anyway, he was like, "You got any plans for tonight?" And I was like, for a minute, I was like, "Why are you asking me my plans?" And I was like, "It's New Year's Eve." And I was like,
"What's your game, fella?"
Excuse me. And I was like, "Oh, I was like, well, we have a YouTube channel and we're doing like a live episode tonight to talk about, like the movies and TV and stuff that we liked the best this year." And he's like, "Oh, what movies have you really liked?" And I was like, "Oh gosh." I was like, "Well, because I didn't have my list right in front of me, everything fell completely out of my brain." And I was like, "Oh, well, we just saw Nosferatu and we really loved that." And I was like, "Also, Twisters." I was like, "If you haven't seen Twisters yet, it's so fun." And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great."
I'm very happy for Glenn Powell. I'm
happy for Daisy Edgar Jones.
We've been championing him
Yeah.
since Scream Queen season 1.
You're the best, babe.
No, I mean we started off talking about Wicked.
Yeah.
It's the closest I've seen to what I want from a movie in a very long time. Easily 10 years.
I'll give you that.
Like, the last time that I truly remember feeling that giddy watching a movie, again, I'm going on memory. I remember being giddy watching Kingsman.
Sure.
I was going to say Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I saw that with Martin, and both of us were in it.
Yeah.
And, like, every time, because that's when Captain started doing the Spartan kicks, and we were like, ooh!
Yeah.
But I was giddy watching Wicked from the beginning. Like, I started crying the second the bubble came down. I've been waiting to see that in a big movie ever since I was born.
Yeah.
And as many people have said, there are things that I would criticize or critique or do differently, yada yada. But ultimately, I think it's the chicken tax. Chicken shop date, which is a thing that I know.
Oh my God. Okay, but she had Elmo on. No, it's truly amazing, especially because the sound is going around TikTok now, and you know how much Elmo hates Rocco. Okay, well, she's like...
Yeah, because he's like, is he here?
She's like, we have a special guest, like, Rocco's here. And Elmo just goes, no, he's not. And she's like, no, he is. He's right in front of you. And he just goes... It's so funny. It's like, it's actually great because actually, Elmo, can you hand Rocco this love note that I wrote him? And he just goes, what's it say? She goes, you rock. Like, love him. And he goes, it's cute. It's really cute. And then she goes, can somebody get Rocco out of here? And he just goes, that would be great, actually. It's so fucking funny. I love it so much.
What's the dog one that Rachel likes so much?
Oh God, I don't remember.
It's like, wait, no, stop.
Oh no, that's about Rocco.
That's about Rocco?
That's about
Okay.
Rocco because Rocco is like the pet rock of the little girl puppet, and and her and Elmo are always like interacting, and she's like, "Could you watch Rocco?" And he's like, "Rocco is a rock. Like he hates Rocco. It's my favorite thing. It's so funny."
It reminds me of Sandra's daughter when Rachel was trying to play with her.
She's like, "Oh, I'm calling you on my phone."
They were playing telephone with cups in the pool,
Yeah.
and she was like, "The phone's ringing, it's for you." And our friend's daughter was like, "That's a cup."
She was like 5. It was so funny.
And Rachel was
And
like,
Rachel like-
"Use your imagination."
Okay. So back down memory lane says, what do you think Wicked did right that West Side Story didn't? I don't remember West Side Story getting this much praise and publicity as Wicked, even people who don't like musicals loved Wicked.
I loved West Side Story. I think that's a good question. It was way more serious.
Part of the
Than
issue
Wicked.
for me is I just don't like Romeo and Juliet.
I don't really like the musical West Side Story all that much. Having said that, that was, in my opinion,
It was
that is
good.
now the definitive version.
It also got a lot of heat leading up to it because of the Ansel Elgort stuff.
Yeah, and that's not, I'm not here to comment on that kind of thing. That's not my vibe. Like I said, it was also part of the pandemic stuff. Wasn't it one of the one?
It was a little bit pandemic stuff. I will also say, I think a huge part of Wicked's success is that it wasn't made by a 78-year-old man.
I mean, yeah, there was definitely a what I would call prestige quality, what some other people might view as a stuffiness, or
I try so hard not to be like ageist about creativity. I think you are absolutely capable of being creative, until the day you die, 100%. But I think part of the issue is that some of these people get so high on their own supply that they think they don't need to try anymore. We're not on Twitter anymore, but I made a Blue Sky account. If you want to follow us on Blue Sky, I made one for the show as well. And I literally was like, I think the world would be such a different place if Leonardo DiCaprio had won his Oscar for Catch Me If You Can. Such a different place.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the thing where I'm like, and he's not even old, but I get so bored with, again, the Lindsay Lohan. I'm so bored.
Well, like I said, I loved West Side Story.
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was beautiful.
That is true.
I loved the big,
it did have scope. It's not like those Rob Marshall musicals. It did have scope, and it was good. I think it got bogged down by a handful of things. It was a little bit of a pandemic thing. It was a little bit of a, you have to see it in the theater, which Will's getting really pissed about that too, because I would be delighted to be going to the movie theater every goddamn week.
We used to go every Friday.
Every Friday night, Thursday or Friday night, we were at the movie theater. I would be delighted to be doing that again, but no one knows how to act. It costs us easily $100.
No one knows how to behave.
Yes, sorry, the actors can act. Nobody watching the movie knows how to behave and act. And if we go to dinner, it costs us easily $100 for the night. We can't be spending $400 to go to the movies.
And I mean, they can put in as many recliner seats as they want to. They never end up staying comfortable. It never ends up
I prefer the recliner seats to the stadium seats. But
I prefer the space of the recliner seat, but I have a bruised tailbone, so I don't get to, and I also cross my legs a lot, and you can't without it.
That was such a good impression.
But Nosferatu, it was like a symphony of people blowing ass. Every single time. Because people were coming and going during that movie.
I felt so bad. I did have to get up and pee during, because I had a coffee 8 hours prior to when we were sitting down for the movie. And I had to pee, and I had to pee again when we left.
And I wanted popcorn so bad, and they did the thing that I prefer, which is the one line. I prefer the one line because it's fair, because you don't get stuck
behind a dumbass.
Yeah. But even still, it was like it wasn't like the D squad, but it was the B squad at best. And I'm like, it's the Saturday
For
after
3 days after Christmas.
Yeah. And I was like, there's no excuse why there shouldn't be the land of milk and honey back there. Like, the popcorn floweth over. And I was just so annoyed. I was so annoyed. But I don't know if I answered your question about West Side Story. But the last thing I will say, it's Wicked's greatest trick. It's not a trick. It's Wicked's greatest asset. But that it's kind of a 4-quadrant crowd pleaser.
That's
like,
true.
It's PG, and kids can. The phrase I use is accessible. It's accessible to children. It's accessible to families. That doesn't mean that every child is going to have the attention span for it or follow it, but a child who wants to will.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those Wells for Boys kids are going to be right there.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the Ariana Grande of it all, the color, the Wizard of Oz, the fact that we haven't really, like, the Wizard of Oz feels like it should be so prime for franchising, and they just haven't been able to do it.
They can't manage it somehow.
I feel like they're trying too hard to recreate the MGM.
Yeah.
And this was...
Well, either that or they're going too hard a different direction.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have my own version of Wizard of Oz that I'm working on, and I liked that this took a more whimsical, or like I saw something where they're like, Shiz University is what the Cheesecake Factory thinks it is. Like, and then my favorite movie of the year is The Substance.
It was really good.
By that, I don't know how many times I'm gonna watch it. Like, I don't know that it's gonna, like, Wicked is gonna be the movie that I return to the most.
Yeah.
But I was so impressed with The Substance. It did so much that I've asked for in a movie, and I think that a lot of people are going to see it and write it off and think they got it. And I think the layers are much deeper than, like, we just said when we were talking about, it was either Interview or Nosferatu, I don't remember. But we were talking about how one of the biggest criticisms of The Substance is that it went on for too long. And it did. It overstates its welcome.
Yeah.
But having spent hours with it editing the reaction, I would argue that's on theme.
Yeah.
I would argue that, like, overstaying your welcome and knowing when to call it quits and going too far or doing too much are all on message.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is something... When we were watching it, there was something so kind of meta and enjoyable about the way that the movie literally beat us into submission.
Yeah.
Like, we were husks by the end of it. It leaves you exhausted.
I was a husk after he ate those shrimps.
That's the grossest part
So
in
gross.
the whole movie.
Disgusting.
I had to edit that.
Yeah. What is his name? Dennis
Quaid.
Thank you. Jesus, yeah.
But I think that it's a masterclass in storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
The way that you are introduced with the egg that splits, and I literally go, well, what does that mean? And the way that it actually spoon feeds you the material, because the whole movie we're going, well, how is that gonna work?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does that mean? Or that, and then the very next thing is them sort of showing that to you.
Yeah.
It just pulls you in. And
I also thought it was a spectacular performance by Demi Moore, who has not been really working a lot lately. Really good.
And I think Margaret was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was very blown away, and it had color, and it had style.
And it had substance.
She had style, she had class, she was there. And so she became the nanny. So yeah, like, art-wise, cinema-wise, The Substance is my...
I guess I probably have to agree. I mean, I'll never watch it again, but we did bad at movies this year.
Yeah. I would love to have seen it with a theater.
I'm not sure I could have stomached a theater experience.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty tough reacting to it also, but...
well, like I said, after I edited it now, I'm kind of...
Yeah.
It's like old... they're like old friends.
We also watched Argyle, which was bad. And Roadhouse, which was better, but not as good as the old one.
I wrote a joke.
But Billy Magnuson was in it.
Where did I write it? Shit. I thought I wrote it at the top. I don't remember where I wrote it, but I literally was like, this year feels like a dream. Like, it feels like it blew by. Like, it's been the quickest year of my life. And then someone says a word like Argyle.
Yeah.
And you realize just how long it's been.
No, you're like, I've lived 10 years.
I've lived lifetimes.
We also watched a movie that I also would never watch again, but was very good with Kristen Stewart called Love Lies Bleeding.
You said it was good? I thought you didn't like it.
I didn't like it, but it was good.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. It was also gross, and it's just sort of sad and pathetic kind of the whole time.
I saw the last 10 minutes of it, which is, you shouldn't do it that way because it's weirder than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, it gets weirder throughout, but also, what's her name?
Not Kristen Stewart?
No, the one that plays Joanna in The Hunger Games. Why can't I not remember her name?
Oh, Jenna Malone.
Jenna Malone. She is in it, and she is Kristen Stewart's sister who just, like, keeps getting abused by her husband. It's horrible. It's so horrible. And I feel like I saw one more on my little list here that we hadn't talked about yet, but maybe not. Oh, this shows up on Letterboxd, but it's a TV show because it's like a limited series. The limited series always do, but Echo, the deaf one from, it was really good, like really really good. I loved it a lot. But yeah, that's all my.
I have no idea what's real anymore.
Movies. It was real and it was good. I don't know how much that's gonna be going forward, but
I'm just so exhausted with like the Disney stink of everything because it's like all I saw was how awful things like Echo and The Acolyte were.
No, we haven't watched The Acolyte, but Echo I thought was amazing.
And I feel like in order to interact with people online, I feel like you don't. Well, no, I know, but also sometimes because so many people are like working from home and all of that, it's like it's the only respite we get. It's the only social interaction we get, and I feel like you should have to like. I feel like a sphinx should ask you 3 riddles before you're allowed to interact with another person.
Pass a philosophical test.
Yeah, like what do you think? Which direction do you think north is? And then we'll carry on from there. And that's where I'm at, even like when we were talking about something like Agatha, which while we were watching Agatha, we were kind of having a hard time with it. And I'm like, I don't know how to differentiate that these criticisms are good faith criticisms, that I'm not just falling into these bullshit talking points like feminism, EDI, or whatever.
DEI. No, I was alone on an island not really liking Agatha.
I thought Will didn't like it.
He doesn't count.
Oh.
He's not the internet.
I watched it again, and I think it's more interesting the second time.
Yeah.
Because I will keep it vague in case people haven't watched Agatha. It's an easy watch.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were waiting, yada yada. But there are a couple of reveals in the show that change how the previous episodes watch.
Yeah.
But you have to get the reveal in order for that to happen.
Yeah.
So there's like things that Agatha says to Billy. Oh.
Spoiler!
There's things Agatha says to a character that just seem needlessly confusing.
Yeah.
The first time you're watching it, and then when you watch it a second time, you're like, oh, that's why she did that.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is all fun and games, and I love when shows are like that, but when there's like a dozen shows and like, well, you just have to watch it twice in order to get it.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, I'm like, okay, but I'm not watching every show twice.
I will say
just on the off chance that
you definitely don't have to watch Echo twice. You can watch Echo once. Sean watched. It didn't come out this year. You're correct, but watched the Batman for the first time.
It was kind of good.
Pretty good. We watched it again before we watched the Penguin.
I tried really hard to hate it. Like I really tried, and it was good.
No, it was really good.
I also, and that's speaking of, it's like but I want Robert Pattinson's Batman with David Cornsweat's Superman.
I don't know. James Gunn said something about Matt Reeves working.
If it makes money, they'll do it.
We also did not get around to X-Men 97. But it's. I mean, I still want to watch it. I just don't know when I'll get around to it at this point. And yes, Billy Magnuson should be bigger than he is.
Yeah, who said that?
Gratian.
Yeah, 100.
Let's watch Game Night again.
Okay, let's get Game Night 2.
Ugh.
Of all the sequels that they're blowing shit up our ass.
I can't stop. It's so funny. I don't even know the name of the internet show it is
to tell people what the
tell
reference
people.
is.
But I saw it on TikTok, and so she's got a new sound on TikTok that is going kind of viral. But the first one I ever saw, it's sort of like not Dimension 20, whichever one Brennan Lee Milligan is on. It's sort of like that. Internet people will know.
Okay, I was like, you've said so many things.
So it's sort of like that, but I don't think they're D&D based. I think they're just friends who do games and stuff. And someone has made them a sandwich, and she's sort of like a little goblin girl. She's got curly dark hair, and she's smaller, and her mouth is full of sandwich, and she goes, "I'm not just blowing shit up your ass," and they all are like, "I beg your pardon," and they cannot get over it, how funny it is. But she's got one now where they're playing a game, because I saw the original first, and now it's a sound, and so they're playing this game, and she just starts freaking out, and she goes, "That's not fair, she made that," and she goes, "I need to calm down, everything's fine, I'm an adult." It's super funny. So if anybody's on TikTok, that was a terrible explanation of both of those clips.
It was actually a pretty good one.
They're good.
It was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Doing any TV?
We can do TV.
Yeah. I would like to take this time to talk about the best show I've ever seen in my life. Reacher. With Alan Richson.
Really?
Yes. It's coming back in February. I am clawing at the bars of my enclosure. I cannot wait.
Why is it that good?
I don't know. It's so good. I love it so much. We got into...
I mean, I've always liked him. I like that for him.
Okay, so he's so good at it. He's so good. Okay, so we got 2 years ago when it started. 2022, I want to say. We got into this real... Maybe it was actually only last year. No, it was only 2023. We got into this real stretch of watching spycraft kind of things. We watched The Recruit with Noah Centineo. We watched The Night Agent with that other cutie pie, whose name I can't remember now. And we watched, because we were also watching Jack Ryan and all kinds of stuff. So we watched all of this. So we watched all the Jack Ryan movies again. We did all of this, and then Reacher came out, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch that. I like that guy. And also it was Willa Fitzgerald, and I was like, let's do it. And we watched it, and I was immediately smitten with the whole endeavor. It's so good. And then season 2 came out this year, and season 3 is coming out in February, and I am so excited. He's an ex-Army Ranger kind of thing, and he's just sort of a nomad mostly. But he stumbles into this small town in the first one, and Willa Fitzgerald is a cop there, and there's a murder or something. There's also money laundering. I feel I don't know. There's a lot going on, and I don't really remember. But he just gets involved in the stuff, and he has to solve the crime, and he rescues a dog, and he just bangs the hot lady every season, but in a super respectful way. It works for me on every level. It's so good.
I'm gonna bang you with respect and admiration.
I mean...
For who you are and everything that you do.
That is exactly how it happens. It's so good. I recommend it to everybody.
I did sort of tier my TV shows, from least to best, kind of a thing. You guys all know, because you were here when we were talking about it, but at the bottom I have Grotesquerie. I didn't expect anything more. I hoped for it. Like I said, I love Niecy Nash. I will apparently watch her do anything. It did the patented Ryan Murphy devolve into a total mess halfway through. Everything just changes for no reason. Its greatest sin, other than being too gross, was the fact that it didn't have the decency to be a limited series and end. It's the first of what is presumably more seasons. I'm furious.
Of the same story, or is there going to be another anthology?
Who knows? Who knows?
I I don't really like either option, but
Travis Kelce had a mullet at the end. It I don't know.
that feels like the least of its crimes.
I enjoyed watching Feud.
Mm.
Capote and the
That
Swans.
one, I was like, what even was it this time?
I visually stunning. Mood, vibe, atmosphere, all there. Actresses, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Performances, yes. I love the blanks in history and culture that it filled in for me. Overall, I don't really think that it resulted in like a satisfying narrative.
Yeah. I mostly agree.
I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't think it was all that good. And like I said, the stuff that I'll take from it is the performances.
Yeah.
Similarly, I have Palm Royale on there. I did like Palm Royale more. It is apparently getting a second season. I am even optimistic, potentially enthusiastic about that. I just hope that maybe the writing, that maybe they get a new or better showrunner.
Well, maybe they also won't be beholden to the book anymore.
Yeah, I hope it has more focus. And I hope the whole thing just feels tighter. Because again, beautiful, very amusing, very
also,
whimsical.
Kristen Wiig was great.
She was great.
Yeah.
Like a weird, I think people sleep on her a little bit. And I think
as an actress,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think like her reputation as like a chaos entity is, I think, a little overdone. Like I think she's a way more solid actress than people think she is.
Which, to that point, I would like, if we're arguing like SNL actresses, I feel like that is maybe potentially part of why Kate McKinnon has been largely silent since she left. Like, I haven't really seen her a lot because she has that chaos entity energy as well.
And just the cast of Palm Royale was so fantastic that I just wish that
like a shockingly excellent turn from Ricky Martin.
Yeah. And it's like, I wish there was like, as much as we love Leslie Bibb, like I wish something came of her character.
Yeah, because that was a problem I think we had while we were watching it, is that she was like, it was like every other scene she was either friends with Kristen Wiig or she wasn't.
The back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Come on, man, like cross the threshold, like get over the bridge.
I went ahead and put House of the Dragon on here. It really tried our patience.
Yeah, a few times. But again, that's, I think, the theme lately is that
I can just tell they're trying to recapture magic.
So, well, they for sure are trying to recapture the magic of Game of Thrones. But the thing for me, and what feels like it's going to be a through line for almost all of these things, especially the things like that, is the performances are so good. I love the performances of all of these. They are, but it's like the performances are in direct opposition to the writing. It's like the actors are the only ones doing something.
Anything that I have with 2 seasons of House of the Dragon, almost without fail, anything that I have been excited by or really responded to was deviations from the source material, which is futile because we're locked in to an outcome.
Yeah.
And so it's like everything, I'm like, ooh, I really like that. Do more of that. They're like, nope, he's dead.
Yeah.
Or, like, nope, they have to hate each other for canon reasons. And it's like, it's just frustrating watching, because part of what made, and especially in the beginning, part of what made Game of Thrones so exciting was, and I always said, was it was George R.R. Martin's plotting and the way that he was able to blindside you with what in hindsight was an inevitable conclusion.
Yeah.
And I feel the exact opposite watching House of the Dragon.
I agree.
So, and I just love watching in particular these 2 women. And we just so rarely get it. And again, it's like anytime that we do, it's in opposition to the story.
Because like Emma and Olivia are so excellent together. They have such good chemistry together, and their characters have such interesting interactions. But again, like you said, because of where we are in the story and the fact that they are diametrically opposed, we got 2 scenes with them this season. And I'm just like, and then that's it.
Or it's even like, you
no
know,
way one of them sneaks into the other's bedchamber a third time, you know?
or even it's like, you know, and spoilers, mild, like not big deal spoiler, I guess. I don't know spoilers, you know the deal. The Erics.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, I really like these characters. Oh, they're both dead. And people are like, well, that's the point. Like, they're dying is what moves the plot. And I'm like, I was interested in the part where they were alive.
I don't
like,
care.
they're dying is my least favorite part
Yeah.
about what we're...
No, I totally agree.
We talked about it a little bit. I did say that ultimately I did enjoy watching The Boys. It really tried my patience. It ended on a better note, I think. Having said that, I have no idea if... I don't think I can watch the next season.
No,
especially not...
I didn't watch this season.
Yeah, so long as they seem hell-bent on mirroring current events,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which I was trying to make that point earlier. That's why I find my, like, current obsession with, like, crime and spycraft fiction so interesting, because there is a lot of that, but I'm just like, I'm so here for it. Like, I'm so here for it. Because we watched Cross, the Alex Cross TV show with Aldous Hodge. Alex Cross is a James Patterson character. He's like a writer, like kind of like John Grisham. And so Aldous Hodge did a show, I think it was on Amazon, and we watched that last week, I want to say, and like, I don't know, 10 out of 10. Like, I'm like so here for it.
I also had Rings of Power. I liked season 1 better. Kind of a lot. Rings of Power started... The beginning and the end I thought were good.
Yeah.
The middle, it tried our patience. It's so frustrating, and this is similar for me to Dune Prophecy, where it's like... It's giving me everything that I ask for from these shows.
But not like that.
My biggest thing with Rings of Power is the tone. I think it needs to decide what it's doing. There are glaring tonal shifts between, like, well, that scene was clearly written for children, and oh, they're slitting multiple horses' throats.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's just there's so many things that I think were so... There's so many things about the Rings of Power that I think are excellent. I hate that the actual script is so bare. Like, I just... I don't know. And maybe it's a camel is a horse designed by a committee.
Sure.
Maybe it's that. I'm not entirely sure. Similarly with Dune, I mean, I enjoyed Dune Prophecy. My biggest...
But again, the performances
are bad?
No, it's like mostly the performances.
Well, only after having watched the 6 episodes do I now feel like I feel like I finished the pilot.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I
Which
just now
in our
have
most recent
entered,
episode.
and it's like, oh, it's already done,
Yeah.
and God knows when we're going to get a season 2. And is that going to feel the same? Is that going to be another 6 episodes just for me to be like, okay, I'm finally on board?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm frustrated because it's like, on one hand, they're giving me what I asked for with these things. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, but also then make it good.
But do it right.
It has to be both of those things.
Also, Gratian says Interview with the Vampire was amazing. You will be very pleased to know that we just watched all of season 1.
We did. I loved it.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting to season 2 soon. He joined late.
No,
later.
He's been here the whole time. I'm not sure.
We started talking about it.
We did. I don't think it was right at the beginning, but yeah.
We're going to get to season 2 soon, and we're going to be covering 3 live, most likely. I loved it. Loved it.
It was my second time watching it, and I was just as blown away as I was the first time.
Obsessed with the 2 of them.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
I'm at war with the show.
He's very at war with Lestat specifically.
I just think I could change him. Maybe I could fix him.
No.
The joke I made was, I was like, I'm trying to watch Sense 8. Like, I just want to watch this weird supernatural poly.
Yeah.
Like, because I actually have that on my good. I put Agatha along on here in the middle.
Smart.
I have a good one.
Hi, Rachel. Rachel's here.
Rachel?
Rachel's here.
Hi. Did she just join?
Yeah. She said, hi, everyone.
Everybody say hi to Rachel.
She says, it's me!
Well, I'm glad she's here because she'll appreciate this. This will probably surprise you that I put this on my my list of best TV. And it comes with bad news. But season 2 of Trixie Motel. I loved watching it.
Me too. What's your bad news? Is it the bad news I shared last night?
Did you share bad news last night?
Yeah. What's your bad news?
That they broke up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it in the chat.
I'm so behind on my
chat.
correspondence.
Okay.
I'm so behind. Yeah, they broke up.
Trixie and David broke
Silver.
up. And also, I have to take this moment then, in relation to that, to pour one out for Craig and Paige from Southern Charm and Summer House. They broke up yesterday as well. Or they announced it yesterday. Rachel and I are heartbroken. I literally told Will yesterday, and I was like, a not insignificant amount of my mental health was tied to these people's relationship, and I'm really sad now.
Well, the hard part with Trixie and David is apparently they broke up like a month before the show started airing.
A long time ago, then.
And so they just had to then deal with the public being like, you guys are perfect, and like all that.
I mean,
because it was such a
bought
weird
that rose quartz countertop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a bummer.
And Trixie, because she was like, it's been so long that I kind of am like, I've processed it. And she was like, and I don't want to talk about it. But then at a certain point, I'm like, I have to acknowledge.
To other people, yeah. Yeah, well, Craig and Paige spent Thanksgiving together, and now they're broken up. So.
But no, it was, if anybody doesn't know, it's Trixie Mattel, and it's called Trixie Motel. Season 1 was about them designing her.
The Palm Springs Motel.
And I've met my soulmate. I actually can't remember his name. But the two,
one of the painters.
The two gay painters. I love the blonde. Well, they both were hot and they both were blonde. But the tall blonde one, I love him. I follow him on Instagram. I watch all his stories, and now I'm like, I have to make a point to wait because I feel like I'm too Johnny on the spot watching his stories. Like, but I did have Interview with the Vampire on my TV. Bridgerton season 3.
Oh yeah, really good, really good. I think we're gonna get season 4 sooner than we did the last time.
I hope.
They've been filming for like at least weeks, but I think months.
I think that the show has part of me. I don't know what word to use other than edge, which isn't exactly what I mean. But I feel like season 1 had a bit of an edge to it. And I wouldn't hate going back a little bit in that direction.
I think we kind of are, because I think
3 was very frothy in a way that suits Penelope.
Well, it's also their friends to lovers thing, which is good. So I think the issue, it's the kind of thing we talk about all the time, where I always bring up Stranger Things, where everybody was like, season 2 blows. And I was like, does it blow, or were you expecting to be absolutely blown out of the way, captivated like you were with season 1 again? And it can't possibly live up to that because you are already expecting what's happening. So that's part of it, but also it's like we were introduced and we get Daphne, and that's all very cool and interesting. Every character after that is getting married is a character we've already met. It's not fresh, brand new anymore. But I do think with Benedict, because he is like not the most popular of the brothers, you know? So I think it's going to be a little bit more like that. And his romance is not as upper crusty. So.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, like, grit is like very low down on what I want from Bridgerton, but that doesn't mean there can't be a little bit of it, you know, just, we also watched Queen Charlotte this year and we loved it.
We did. It was really good.
I loved Nicola so much.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think I like Queen Charlotte better than I liked season 3, but I think
it took, for my money, it took a little too long for Charlotte and George to like be on the same team. Like, he was still getting abused by that doctor in episode 4 out of 6. And I was like, no.
And then my runner up I have is English teacher.
Oh yeah. Really good.
I loved it. I'm afraid that it's like, because Brian Jordan Alvarez is like hawking. He's like, watch this,
Yeah.
and that makes me worried that it's on the chopping block.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been expensive.
Yeah, I don't know about like, and it's on FX, which doesn't feel like it's, I don't
Like
know.
they're ruthless, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved it. If you haven't watched English Teacher, watch it. It's very funny, like viciously funny.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I've got some that I know that you don't have. We watched The Gentleman, with Theo James on Netflix. It's a Guy Ritchie, like,
yeah.
it weirdly pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was, and I
Wasn't
don't.
that a movie?
Yes, it's sort of. It's like in the same universe, but it's not the
Okay.
same characters. I don't like Theo James.
You don't. I mean, I don't feel strongly about it. I liked him in White Lotus.
Yeah, I liked him in The White Lotus. I mean, his character sucks.
I was
but
gonna be like, although that might have
Yeah.
just come naturally to him.
But The Gentleman was good. I liked it because it also had, I forget her name now, but the girl from the Maze Runner movies,
Kira
Kaya Scodelario.
Scodelario.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. I think you've got it on there. True Detective season 4. Is that your number one?
It's my number
Yeah.
one. I loved that.
It was really good.
Love that. And part of it is I think where I was at personally, and it was still fall or winter. It was like
Yeah.
February or March when I was watching it. And I like did that thing where I just like hunkered down and it was like cold, Florida cold, but
Yeah.
still cold.
We're gonna get like legit
Yeah,
cold
we
next
are.
week.
Like freezing.
Yeah.
But it was like dark and I just sort of like got under the covers.
Yeah.
And it was like a cozy murder mystery.
I was like well, yeah. I mean, yes, but it's so supernaturally.
That was my
leaning.
favorite part.
Yeah.
I love when something can straddle that line.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's exactly how I feel about magic in the world.
Mm.
Because like Rachel and I have had conversations where she thinks I should believe in magic more than I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I only barely believe in magic. But I think it's there, but I
Yeah.
think it's subtle.
It's little.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. And I mean, Jodie Foster and
I loved her.
what was her name too?
Because she wasn't a cop with a French braid.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a literal cop with a French braid, but she didn't feel like she wasn't putting on that angst. Like
Sure.
it felt hard earned.
Yeah.
And not like not like the actress felt like she had to convey that.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I definitely agree. I just straight up can't. Oh,
It was also-
there is a season 5 coming.
It was also so visually stunning. The snow.
Oh god, the dark
and the
Alaska.
what are those animals called? Reindeer. They're called something.
Caribou.
Caribou.
Yeah. Collie Race. That's one.
She
Yeah.
was excellent, and
really
I loved
good.
her snake bites.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good. Let's see. What else do I got? We watched Fallout. Did you watch Fallout?
No,
Oh my god. Really?
my girl's in.
Yeah.
What is her name? Jackie from Yellow Jackets.
Yeah. What the hell is her name?
Emma Purnell.
Ella.
Ella Purnell.
Ella Purnell. And Walton Goggins as a hot zombie.
I like
He's
Walton.
the best.
He's like one of those that is not necessarily hot, but he's really sexy.
He's really sexy.
Uh-huh.
Well, also, Will and I watched most of this show he was on. It was like a CBS comedy called The Unicorn.
Is that over?
I think it got canceled. I think it kind of got in.
It was
with
like 2
COVID and the
seasons,
strike,
yeah. I forgot about that.
But because he was like a widowed dad of 2 girls, and I was just like, I would throw it all away for Walton Goggins in this show. Also, I think I've told you before, he is on Sons of Anarchy.
Venus Van Dam, I know.
Yeah, and Tig falls in love with her. It's amazing. I love it. And I already talked about Cross, which was so good. It like annoyed me a couple of times, but it's largely, and also I just love Aldous Hodge. Oh, and Isaiah Mustafa's in it. Yeah, he is humongous. Like tall. He's so tall, and he's like.
Well, he was one of the reasons why I wanted to like Shadowhunters.
Is he in that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what that was called, right?
the show.
Yeah. Do I know who Isaiah Mustafa is? The Old Spice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in that.
the show with the redheaded.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was in the first episode. Look that up.
I don't know. If
I feel like you don't believe me.
Maybe he still isn't. Did I spell that wrong? Yeah. Are you shitting me? How are you spelling this? Oh, okay. I don't know how to spell Isaiah.
I don't either, so. And Mustafa isn't going to help.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he watched 55 episodes. I watched a lot of them, too. Oh, boy. Oh, well. Okay. What else do I got? Yeah, so that was really good. I watched Nobody Wants This.
You loved that.
Oh, my God. So good.
Kristen Bell and Adam Brody.
And Adam Brody. I mean, it was unbelievable. First of all, I thought it was a movie.
Was it unbelievable?
It was unbelievable.
Okay.
It was really, really funny.
It's high praise.
Really sweet, really sexy. Leslie Grossman is in it, and she plays a lady rabbi.
Oh.
I loved it. I really, really did. And I thought it was... I loved it in a way that that was unexpected for me. Because like I said, I thought it was a movie at first. And when I found out it was a show, I was like, ugh. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And then I thought it was going to be a one-off. And it ends on a cliffhanger, kind of. And so, I loved it. I thought it was great. I would have talked about it last year if we had done our roundup, but we didn't. The TV show on Apple Plus called Shrinking with Jason Segel and Kristen Miller and Jessica Williams and Harrison Ford. And, what's his name? Michael Urie from Ugly Betty?
Yeah.
It is the best show on TV.
And what's it about?
So good. So Jason Segel is a therapist, and his wife was killed in a car accident, and he has, like, a teenage daughter, and he goes completely off the deep end when his wife is killed. And so we basically join the show when he is a year out. They are a year out from the death of their wife and mother. And he is like hiring sex workers to the house and doing coke and drinking tequila with them in the pool and the hot tub. And like his daughter is inside. And so it's basically, and he is still being a therapist during this time, but he can't get himself right, really. And so one of the best parts, especially of season 1, is that one of his clients is Heidi Gardner. And she has like a really emotionally abusive husband, and he is trying so hard to like, basically he decides to just start telling his clients the truth as opposed to like therapizing them properly. And so he just is like, your husband is abusive and he sucks.
Okay.
And you are like, you should not be like.
Instead of like leading them to that conclusion.
He just starts telling them. And then he gets involved with this like ex-soldier who has PTSD that like is in court ordered therapy and stuff. And it's so good. It's so good. It's beautiful. It's emotional. The credits song is by Ben Gibbard. And every time it starts, it feels like I've already been crying for 10 minutes.
So it's just drama?
No, it's hilarious.
Okay.
It's like so funny.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it if it was just drama. Also, Wendy Malick is in it. You love Wendy Malick.
Yeah. I think I get it confused with the Adam Scott one.
Severance. That's also funny.
Oh, I thought that was a drama.
It is, but it's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I merged them, so anytime I'm like, because that one's kind of sci-fi a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's coming back in January.
And then also Silo. I think I lump all of them together.
Steve Zahn is in season 2 of Silo.
Did that air this year?
It's on right now.
Oh.
We're not fully caught up.
Okay.
It's so good. Also, Common is
Yeah.
on it.
I actually love Common.
It's amazing.
I feel like I need to make a list to watch because
I will re-recommend these at any time. Shrinking in Style. I think Apple Plus is the only streaming service that is doing what streaming services
it's like hits
should
on hits
be
on hits.
doing.
Yeah,
it is hits on hits on hits. The morning show is still on. I've never watched a single episode. I will probably, but like I think that's so funny that they are like letting these things that are vaguely popular keep going. I love it. We also watched all 4 seasons of Slow Horses this year, which is Gary Oldman. And Saoirse Ronan's husband. That's also on Apple Plus. It's you're totally right. Hits on hits on hits. It's nuts. And there's a TV show with Sharon Horgan that I think we're gonna watch.
Yeah.
Called Bad Sisters. So yeah, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of the Apple TV Plus stuff. Really good. Rebecca Ferguson is so good on Silo.
And that's like they're in an underground bunker.
But it's like humanity has been in this underground bunker for hundreds of years.
Oh.
They have no knowledge of the outside.
So then I'm going to assume everything's different than what they think it is on the outside.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil. It's
Sure.
like really good. And it starts off too with Rashida Jones and not Chiwetel. Shoot. I'm so bad with names today. I don't remember his name from season 1. But it's like there's so much, and they have also announced that they are already filming seasons 3 and 4, and they are deliberately ending it after 4. So I'm like,
This
amazing.
is Silo?
Yeah, this is season 2. What's happening right now? Sheriff Becker. Oh, yeah, David Oyelowo.
Okay, yeah.
Really good. So it's like him and Rashida Jones like sort of start off the show, and then Rebecca Ferguson kind of picks it up, and then she's the lead going forward. And Tim Robbins is so horrible. Like it's so good though. I can't say enough good things about Silo. And I think the only other I think that's it. I think I'm done with TV for now.
I actually wrote a whole bunch of notes about music, but I don't know if I feel like that feels like that's gonna open another door that's gonna wipe me out. We can see. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Let's see. Well, Rachel said, "Believe in magic, you jabroni," which is good. Sean said Heartstopper season 3 was great. I do still need to watch Heartstopper season 3. I do love the first 2.
I feel kind of like Trixie and Katya, where that's the one where Trixie finally flipped the table.
Yeah, because they were being too chaste.
They-
They're like 15. Okay. Gratian is contemplating watching the current season of Outlander, and then Rachel said it's so schlocky, which she told me the other day. I think I'm gonna wait until it's all out and binge it.
Rachel, what did you watch? What was your?
Ooh, yeah. Well, she said Shrinking. Shrinking has been my favorite show for the last 2 years. We have not watched Baby Reindeer, and
My brother watched that. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird, but in like a interesting way.
And then so I think I'm gonna probably catch up on Outlander, but I also I don't really care anymore. Although Rachel did tell me there's a lot of Lord John this season, and he is like one of my favorite characters, so we'll see. And Gratian is still pissed they canceled Dead Boy Detectives. And then Entertainment Lover says, "What show are you the most sad that's been canceled in 2024?" And honestly, I can't really...
Has anything been canceled that we...
I don't think anything's been canceled that I was like in love with, except for, I assume I would have liked Dead Boy Detectives, but I didn't want
We wanted to watch that, and then we saw the writing on the wall, and we were just like, I'm just gonna let that slip.
And then Neil Gaiman got in trouble.
Yeah, but I don't... I mean, if we're gonna like hold every man accountable, there'll be no men left.
Good. Oh, The Diplomat. Yeah, Rachel, correct. The Diplomat is pretty good. Again with the spycraft. I can't get enough. I love spy stuff. Because also, The Night Agent is getting a season 2, and it's coming out in January also.
Oh, they canceled Girls 5 Eva. That
sucks.
I thought I never watched it because I was like, this is going to be canceled any minute now. And somehow it lasted like 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So with no help from me. Oh, they canceled The Real Housewives of Dubai.
That's fine.
I heard it was kind of a mess.
Oh, God. Do we want to do a quick reality TV corner?
You guys can.
I am caught up as hell, y'all. I caught up on Southern Charm, which kind of the whole season feels moot now because Craig and Paige just broke up. So now Austin and Shep win, and it's just so annoying. I caught up on that. I watched like 15 episodes of Salt Lake City in one day. I just let it
feels like too much.
I just let it keep playing. I don't know what is going on with Lisa Barlow, but I feel like she and Dorit need to do like a road trip spinoff because I'm at the end of my rope with both of them. Brittany's here.
What is Dorit doing? I want to watch.
Dorit is like crashing out because her and PK are separating.
And so she doesn't have an identity?
Well, kind of, but also she's like getting into it with Kyle, and I still like don't really remember what they're fighting about.
Is Kyle gay now yet?
No, she's
okay.
not with Morgan, even a little. But Mauricio,
You're really mad about that.
But Mauricio moved out and is living his best life, and so is PK, and so there's just these poor two women like alone now, and Kyle's like, this is not how I imagined my life, and I don't know what to do. And her one daughter moved out, and the other daughter was already an adult, and so it's just her and the youngest one just rattling around this
and those
huge
bad
mansion.
dogs.
They're really bad dogs. Also, I kind of can't with Kathy. Like,
I don't understand the question, and
know.
I won't respond.
She doesn't know how to act like a person. The rest of them at least know how to act like a person. But I do like the new woman, Bose. She's pretty cool. Garcelle is living her best life. She's doing so much stuff. She bought a beach house. She's almost done renovating it.
She like made a deal with Lifetime.
Yeah.
Where she's like producing.
Yep.
And because we started this stream talking about Lacey Chabert, and I was like, don't knock the like Hallmark, Lifetime, like cable, like you can make bank.
The super bank,
yeah.
I will say, so Sean said Sully Say's been really good this season, and I totally agree. I think one of the things that's actually like, I hope we're gonna get through the other side of it, which we kind of have started to, but the reason why Heather doesn't like Brittany, well, I mean, I also don't like Brittany. She's so weird. She's very like, why can't this be about me? Like, I have an announcement to make every episode. I have an announcement to make, and it's like, I'm dating the Osmond cousin, or I broke up with the Osmond cousin, or like, I'm dating the Osmond cousin again. And it's just like, okay, we're done with that. But I think what's really interesting is that I think that Heather has like PTSD from the Monica thing. And I think that's why she's so suspicious of these like newcomers now. And it's actually kind of fascinating to watch. I like that part of it a lot. And I also did not expect to ever like Mary Cosby. And I kind of do. I kind of like her now.
Why do I know that name? Is she?
She, I mean, I don't know. Did you watch Salt Lake City?
Mm-mm.
We've talked about her before. I hated her for the other seasons. She's married to her grandpa.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's the one married to her grandfather.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you better be sure if you're going to make that.
No, yeah, that was her.
I think I will go ahead and say some of my...
Do a little music?
Yeah. Well, these don't have corresponding albums yet, but honestly, it's funny because like the music industry is so different from the TV and movie industry.
Yeah.
And the music industry has also been in chaos for years and in desperate need of like renovating top down, ground up. Throw the whole thing away.
Let's do this.
Baby and the bathwater. Throw all of it.
You can run Capitol Records and I'll run Warner Brothers.
But there are a handful of things sort of changing and things sort of coming up. Gun to my head, I did not agree with my Spotify Wrapped, nor have I for the last like 3 or 4 years. I don't think it
2
works.
years running, Noah Khan.
I don't think it works. I don't think it works the way they purport, and I think it has to do with how because they hide.
So I saw something that said they fired the guy that made the genre.
It's all AI now. It had Padam Padam as my #1 song of the year, and I'm like, if this were last year, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know for a fact that I did not listen to that song the most this year. And what I would say my favorite song is Jade, Angel of My Dreams. I love that song. It's so weird.
Oh, is that the
And
one you played me?
I mean, I
Yeah.
have played it for you. It's like 3 different songs, but in a good way that I
Mm.
like. I think it's a little too chaotic for you, but I think if you heard it a lot, you would really warm up to it. But yeah, it had that. I played that. There was like a week where I played it on repeat, and it had it like number 40 for me. And I
That's
was like,
weird.
I don't agree. I love Joyride, Kesha's Joyride.
Mm.
Because it still feels like Kesha. It's still pop dance music, but it's just kind of weird with that like accordion.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Addison Rae clearly did a number on me this year.
We did do a couple reactions to her
Both
songs.
Diet Pepsi
Yeah.
and Aquamarine. And I'm sure she's going to say something stupid by March of this year and be canceled and yada yada. I don't really care. I'm not interested in that kind of culture, that kind of like, there's this weird thing where I love pop culture and I love commenting on pop culture and I even like bitching. Like I even like playfully shading things and stuff. But it seems like everybody is in a competition to be the most righteous, whoever can be the most morally correct, and whoever's like, but I saw it first, and it's time for them to go down, and like, it's so weird and gross, and it's like, flames.
Oh, Sean says, bring out your inner Wendy Williams.
Like I saw people just like going on and on about, and I'm not even going to get into it because then we'll get into it, but I'm just like, we don't know these people.
Yeah.
We don't know these people. Like, no, I'm going to stop myself. Maren Morris is threatening a pop album, and she has a song called Push Me Over that I love. I think if you haven't purposefully listened to it, you need to. I think you'll like it. I also committed Remy Wolf to memory. I've apparently liked her since this Hello, Hello, Hello song she did like 2 or 3 years ago. But her album Big Ideas, I liked a lot of it. This was on my last year's list, was of course Chapel Roan, Pink Pony Club, Forever and Always. I like Chapel Roan. She had a year. Yeah. She ran her mouth a lot, as is her right, as she is wont to do. And you know, I think she's great. I like her. I do have to say that where she really impressed me this year was her VMAs, Good Luck Babe.
Oh, really good.
And I only just like that song. Like, I think it's fine. But her VMAs.
Oh, I think that's the best one.
Yeah, everybody does.
Oh.
I like it.
Oh, I love it.
Her SNL performance of Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
Was, in my opinion, a career-defining moment.
I agree.
I'm sure it's happened. I cannot recall an SNL performance where the entire audience sang back. That's just not, you don't get a lot of that on SNL. The albums that I liked, of course, I put Taylor Swift and Tortured Poets Club. It's fine.
Department.
Sure. I like Florida, but Daddy, I Love Him, and I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I think is so good. That's the Taylor Swift I prefer, and Tortured Poets Department was a lot more of not those 3 songs.
Yeah. I like Down Bad. That's one that I feel like it doesn't get enough love, so I like that one a lot.
Loved Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Birds of a Feather, if not Angel of My Dreams, Birds of a Feather. It's not all that revolutionary. It actually is very conventional, but there was something about it where I was not even 15 seconds into the song and I had already started. Yeah. I have a very...
The 2 of them are so good at working together.
Oh my God, yeah. That's my favorite part, is that it's about her brother. Mm-hmm. I love...
As opposed to all the other songs that are just about going down on ladies.
Well, and that's the thing, is because it's like some people are really precious about that, where they're like, ew. And I'm like, it's because it uses the language of love, because that's how pop music works.
That is about her brother?
Yeah. Oh. But there I have a very vivid memory of being in my room listening to music on the radio in like 1994 and Birds of a Feather gave me that. Like,
Mm.
it kind of teleported me
Sure.
to, like, a Saturday afternoon
Yeah.
in the 90s when all was good.
And they used to play music on the radio.
I
I feel like such an old lady sometimes when I say stuff like that.
they used to play music on the radio.
There used to be music videos on MTV. Sure, Grandma.
Vampire Weekend had an album, Only God Was Above Us. I didn't really like it
Oh, that's
at
too bad.
first when it came out. I like it now. There is a song, I think it was like the lead single, called Classical, and it was kind of where I was like, I don't care for this, because I found it to be jaded, and I who could be jaded in the year 2024? There's so much to look forward to. There's so much optimism on the horizon. And the song Classical, kind of the chorus bridge, the lyrics go, untrue, unkind, and unnatural, how the cruel with time becomes classical. I know that walls fall, shacks shake, bridges burn, and bodies break. It's clear something's gonna change, and when it does, which version of classical remains? And all I'll say is at the end of 2024, that was resonating with me way more than I thought it was going to be in March of 2024.
Oh, no.
Loves Sabrina Carpenter. She banger year.
Banger after banger.
didn't, yeah. And also music video, both Please, Please, Please and Taste. Those two videos. She's just, this is high praise coming from me. And I'm not just saying it because I don't have another talking point, but she gives me Kylie Minogue.
Oh, sure.
She gives me teeny little sex pot that is so great at projecting this aura.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
you
she
actually
doesn't
have no idea what the reality is.
Sure, that part for sure. I've saw so many TikToks this year of people being like, I am a hairdresser. You do not want Sabrina Carpenter's bangs. Stop asking me for Sabrina Carpenter's bangs. You have to do them every day. They don't just fall like that. You have to do them.
I've also seen other people talk about the lipstick
Yeah.
and the lip liner.
Yeah.
Because we were not 30 seconds into Please, 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 and you were like, oh, you don't need more
She was like
more
putting
lipstick.
on more lipstick. I was like, you have about as much taupe lipstick on as one person can handle.
But yeah, I wrote Taste, Espresso, Please, Please, Please. Coincidence is really great. When you get into Coincidence and Slim Pickens, it turns into a Casey Musgraves album. Like one of the poppier ones.
Yeah.
It's
hate
a
that.
lot of fun. Shout out to Bonnie McKee. I have such a soft spot for her. What?
I listened to that album. Sean said still no Rihanna music this year.
No.
I don't think we're going to ever get another Rihanna album.
Oh, God, what's that? I can't think of her name. There's like a video on Instagram, and it was a girl was doing her impression of Rihanna. And, oh, God, I can't remember what she does. She just kind of goes, oh, And she's like, that's it. That's all there is. And she talks about how, like, she was like, my girl cannot be bothered. Like, and she does the lift me up. Hold me down. If I find it, I'll post it. It was so funny.
I just watched The Good Place again, and it's like
She was very late
and a little drunk. And that's
Rachel can co-sign that.
That's all I think about.
But no, Bonnie McKee, I have a real soft spot for her. She's mostly a songwriter, although she does sing. She had one hit called American Girl in like 2013. But she finally got to release her debut album because she's been writing. Basically, she basically wrote Teenage Dream for Katy Perry. So yeah, she did an album, Hot City. Hot City was the name of the album and the song I really loved. A couple others that I love: Don't Get Mad, Get Famous, Slay, I love that one. Sleepwalker, Everything But You, and then Snatched featuring Priyanka, the drag queen. I actually love Deeper Well.
Yeah, me
Casey
too.
Musgraves. It was a slow burn.
Really
that was
good.
not a joke.
It was. I agree. I loved it too. We also got to see her when she came to Orlando with our friend Andrea, who we miss so much. I don't think she's here, but
No.
hi.
I don't know that she'd know how to turn on YouTube.
Yes, she does.
Prove me wrong, Andrea. Prove me wrong.
She's younger than us, not older than us.
But yeah, I honestly, like, from the opening notes of Cardinal, where I was like, oh, we're going kind of Fleetwood Mac.
So Cardinal is the one that's the most Fleetwood Mac to me. I like all of them. I think every single one of the songs is really good.
It's kind of dark.
Mm-hmm.
Deeper Well, the whole thing is a little bit darker, a little bit more pensive, a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I again, I am begging you, Casey Musgraves, do a synth album.
Oh yeah.
Just for shits, do it. Because even Sway, I love Sway.
But her version of Neon Moon.
Ugh, it's the best.
I'll tell you what, too. Andrea was so jazzed about the set list because it basically was also just like
it was deep.
Golden
it
Hour.
was Golden Hour featuring Deeper Well.
Yeah, it was great. And then what's the band's name that was the opener? They sing that "Take Me Back to the Night We Met" song. I forget what they're called.
I mean, I can pull it up because I took a picture.
It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Nickel Creek.
No, Lord Huron.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were one of the openers, and oh my god. First of all, I didn't realize how hot that guy was either. Wow. Wowzers.
Well, you're going to have to fight Andrea for him because she was...
I could beat Andrea. I outweigh Andrea by like 100 pounds.
I don't know. She strikes me... I was going to say, she could be scrappy.
I just have to start trying to put eyeshadow on her.
But no, Sway, like, I love when it goes into that, like, Imogen Heap, like, kind of...
Yeah.
And then my top two are Brat, Charlie XCX, and Cowboy Carter, Beyonce.
Oh.
I loved Cowboy Carter.
Yeah.
Loved it. I don't know why.
I mean,
my
it's
dad
good.
listened to country music growing up. I've always had a fondness for country music, specifically good country music. But something about cowboy, and I liked Renaissance. Like, I was like, yeah, it's great. And
I am stuck. I'm stuck. My Beyonce of choice is Destiny's Child.
Yeah,
I'm way stuck.
No,
I do love Lemonade. I'll say that. I love Lemonade.
Did you listen to all of Cowboy Carter?
No.
Yeah, you need to. It's hard because literally every song, like they're just it's just so well crafted. Like, it's so, like, each song means something. Its placement within the album means something. The features mean something. The songs in relation to each other mean something. It's such a well crafted kind of masterwork. And there's little, like, her version of Jolene, it's like the chorus is the same, but the verses are different. And in some ways, it's actually kind of the opposite of Dolly's Jolene. And then you realize that she's writing it from the perspective of her mother.
Oh.
And I feel kind of silly that my two favorite songs are both duets. The number one is Two Most Wanted with Miley Cyrus. It is shocking how well they suit each other. And I kind of low-key high-key, low-key Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it I don't even know. She's never been like my number one favorite, like, ooh, Miley Cyrus.
Well, she still hasn't made that rock album we want her to do.
No. But I think that such consistent good work. And also there's a girl who did what she wanted to do. Yeah. It's astonishing. I also love Levi's Jeans with Post Malone. It is so sexy.
Post Malone getting good duets this year. Because that Fortnite is also one of my favorites off of Taylor Swift's album. Gratian said, who's Beyonce? Joking. But
yeah, but as in, like, you don't like her?
No, I don't know. But Brittany is on my team, also stuck with Destiny's Child.
I don't know. Well, she is very... I think she's a living legend. Yeah. I truly do. And
I am never arguing that I don't think she's talented. I just can't personally really get into it. It's hard for me.
It's not for me.
Congratulations.
And then Brat, Charlie XCX, and I mean this in all sincerity. I love that album. I'm not just like responding to a meme.
Not just blowing shit up our ass.
No. Or I'm not like, well, I'm gay, so clearly I have to like Charlie XCX. Like, I genuinely loved Brad. It took me, I think, about 3 listens by the time I got it and made it all the way through an album. I think the problem is Club Classics is song number 2, and that's my least favorite song on the album. And so it just sort of derailed the whole album for me every single time.
Like, ugh.
But it's a far more pensive, it's a far more thoughtful album than I think anyone thinks it's going to be. My favorite has to be Sympathy is a Knife. That's the one that's like low key about Taylor Swift, but it's fascinating.
Sure.
I love.
Here we fucking go.
It's
8:30.
actually it's been going for a minute.
Has it?
Yeah.
I just started hearing the fireworks.
I love Everything Is Romantic. Mark my words.
That's the one I was thinking of earlier. Yeah. When you were like, you'd really like it, but it's weird. I was thinking of that. Yeah.
No, Everything Is Romantic. Mark my words. It will be the opening credits to a Fairytale TV series at one point. I love Rewind. I love So I. It's like a response to Sophie's It's Okay to Cry, and it's like a tribute to Sophie. Hello Goodbye, I think about it all the time.
Like the Beatles song Hello Goodbye?
No.
Oh, okay.
And also frankly, I mean 360, that was just a huge popular song.
Yeah.
But I love it. There's a very specific part where the lyric is, she goes, legacy is underrated, you gon' jump if AG made it. AG is the producer. If you love it, if you hate it, I don't fucking care what you think. But there's a part where the way the production is layered, there's like this like cymbal clap that's going. And then at that one point, the clap, they play it in reverse.
Ooh.
So it's like clap, clap, clap. And I heard it the first time, and then I listened to H.T. Hayes.
Oh, sure.
And it took him out too. And it's like, it's almost like spiritual. Like you kind of get into a trance with some of this, like, at
He's
least
fun
for
to
me.
listen to.
He's so good. But like with techno stuff.
Gratian was kidding, but is also with me and Brittany about Beyonce.
Is this feeling personal?
Everybody talk about how much more you like Destiny's Child.
I love Destiny's Child. And I love that. I love that they're still good.
Yeah. Those songs, the Destiny's Child
No.
songs. Oh.
The girls.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
Like with each other.
Yeah. Because I actually don't remember if Beyonce was there. I think it might have just been Kelly and Tina. I can't remember. But they just went to go see Michelle and Death Becomes Her.
Oh, fun.
And I was
Which
like,
one is she playing?
Isabella Rossellini.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I heard she's just okay in it, but
Who cares?
That's fine. No, she has like this huge coat with like a giant collar, and yeah, she's like.
Rachel's on your team.
With what?
Solo Beyonce.
I love Beyonce.
I love Beyonce.
That fucking gif of Peter from Family Guy with the, oh, I wish I was Beyonce. And some of y'all are way too comfortable talking about Blue Ivy, and it's pissing me off. Not you guys, I'm assuming. But it's like
whoa.
No, it's because she was in Mufasa, and she looked beautiful in that Christian Siriano dress. Yeah. Gorgeous. And everybody and their cousin had an opinion on it.
Oh,
and
no. I mean, she's growing out of Jay-Z's face, which is nice for her. She's also still a child. Why are you talking smack about a child's dress?
No, there were people like
gross.
Way too comfortable, and because she also was on the halftime show, and she like danced with her mom, and
was that just for like a football game?
The Christmas Day.
Oh, okay. Because I kept on saying like Beyonce Bowl, and I was like, the Super Bowl is not yet.
Yeah, it was, to my understanding. I could be very wrong because sports, and I don't care. But to my understanding, it was kind of a new.
Oh, okay.
Like, let's make a big deal out of this.
Oh, okay.
And I'm always here for, a big deal over something I'm interested in.
Yeah. Rachel says Mac is doing the makeup for Death Becomes Her.
Are they?
Yeah, that's cool.
So, are there any other questions? And actually, that was my abridged version. I could have kept going.
What's your favorite movie or TV series that you've covered on the channel, or your favorite video? I think I kind of was on one for the last episode of Dune, I made you laugh a lot in that.
Did you?
Yeah.
That we just recorded?
Yeah. But it's a real unfortunate that we didn't start doing videos sooner, because truly the best episode I think we've ever recorded still is our Alita Battle Angel episode, because we were fighting for our lives.
We bring it up frequently.
Yeah.
I listened to it recently and it holds up. I am partial to a lot of the reactions. I think they're like, I've watched our own Hereditary probably a dozen times.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy watching Rachel with prisoners.
Oh, sure.
Because she went
funny.
on such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's specifically Rachel with the snakes and the disgusting, sorry, snakes. And she was like, you're not listening to this.
Yeah, Rachel said the prisoners, and then the Teen Wolf episode where the bugs come out of the scary guy's chest. Also, Elliot, no, we never watched Chaos on Netflix, and also it got canceled, I think. So,
and also Rachel, I think in season 1 of Teen Wolf, the double fake out with Derek, it it almost broke her.
Oh man!
But no, there's a handful. I'm trying to think. I would need to look at it, honestly.
Yeah. What are we most excited about for movies and TV for next year? Well, Reacher season 3.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets for sure.
White Lotus.
Oh yeah, the White Lotus.
We're gonna be.
Oh, The Last of Us.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be covering. I don't know that we're covering Reacher because we've never talked about it.
I will talk about Reacher, but we don't need to cover
Yellow
Reacher.
Jackets and White Lotus. We will be covering,
and The Last of Us, I assume, because we'll probably take those in a chain from whichever one premieres first and one right after the other. Yeah, movies, I'm not so sure. I don't even know. I can't even think of a single movie besides Snow White that's coming out next year.
Well,
Wicked Part 2.
Yeah, Wicked Part 2, and then Superman, right?
Superman, yeah. I'm pretty excited for Superman.
How do I find what I'm looking for?
Content? What are you looking for?
Kind of this.
Videos? Oh, for you?
Sometimes it, or it'll be popular.
Oh yes, Sean, I'm very excited for the final season of Stranger Things. They wrapped filming a week or so ago. Yeah, they are wrapped. We're wrapped.
I really enjoyed our Midnight Mass. I had a lot of fun. Basically, any of the Mike Flanagan.
Those are good.
We always enjoy a Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Those are good questions. I just have a hard time.
I fucking loved Return to Oz. That's a good reaction.
You really did love Return to Oz.
Oh, Fantastic Four is coming out, and the new Captain America. We'll see.
I would be
so happy to like them.
Yep, I would love to love the new Captain America. I am not certain.
And it's not about Sam. It's about the quality of the storytelling. You would want to hit videos to just scroll through all of them, basically. But
Yeah, this is what I was looking for.
Thank
you.
Yeah.
White Lotus. I loved doing the White Lotus, and we got good traction with those as well. Yeah. This is a good place to say we are most likely going to be watching Drag Race this season. However, we do not know that we're going to really be covering it. We just need a break. I think we're going to do it on the Patreon. I think we're going to do the finale or the premiere and the finale. So on Friday, I think we are going to watch the premiere. But mostly, I think we're just going to put it on the Patreon because I just don't have it in me to hold that much space for what I'm
holding zero space for the audience of Drag Race.
It's just I get too in my head. I can't handle it. It's just.
Yeah. On that note, yes, Gratian, we did cover Fall of the House of Usher. It's on there.
Yeah.
And Rachel commented too, and she's in those episodes. And then Sean wants us to cover more reality shows. That kind of goes in with the Drag Race thing. The fandoms are pretty abusive.
They're really vicious, and it falls into that thing that I was just saying where it's everyone's in a competition to see who can be the most righteous the quickest.
Yeah.
And it's just too hard. There's no grace for my introduction to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was season 11, I guess, when it was the fallout of Erica Jane's divorce. And I understood Erica.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked Erica. And there was a lot of times I was on her side. And that's a very stupid thing to say on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's
I don't have it in me to be trying to defend myself why Heather is my favorite Salt Lake City housewife. And so I'm just not, we will talk about this stuff during the lives, but like I'm very resistant doing episodic coverage of that. Plus, Will has like a life at the beach, so he can't be here every day of the week. So
we need to be making more money if that's going to be the case.
yeah.
Yeah, I loved covering Teen Wolf with Rachel. I've told her that that's probably one of the top 5 favorite things that we've done, and that's a lot of there's a lot of Teen Wolf on here.
Yeah. We will also be getting to season 5 at some point sooner than later. That is a lot of Teen Wolf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
5 seasons if you.
Bly Manor, yeah. Since it says Billy, me, and Rachel. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, God, Crimson Peak. God, yeah. I didn't know how many episodes or how many views that had.
It's solely because this is the picture.
Good.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you look at the analytics, they just tune right out once they realize. Because it's not even visual. It's when we were a podcast.
Yeah, Rachel said, I'm glad we did Gilmore Girls, even though I hated the show. She did power through all of it, including Year in the Life, after she got to New York. We got through, like, season 5, I want to say, and then she watched the rest of it alone, and she was nonstop texting me how much she hated Christopher and what was going on. It was amazing.
It was actually a privilege and a pleasure to cover Riverdale.
Oh my God, totally. That was on my list for last year.
The golden age. Yeah, we're going to be looking back on that one day.
I fucking loved it. So, like, yeah, last year, because I had that, and I had the House of Usher, and I had Barry, because it ended last year, too. Drops of God, which was really good. The Mrs. Maisel finale only. Yeah. Also, that show, Poker Face, with Natasha Lyonne was really good, too. Yeah.
So, well, are you feeling satisfied?
Yeah.
Are you feeling year-ended?
Yeah, my year
Has the year ended?
My year is over. We're going to go watch Wicked, and I'm going to keep drinking slushy until I pass out. And we're going to eat some shrimpies.
So, yeah, thank you guys so much. We love you. We love doing this. We hope to have more in the new year. Watch this space, like and subscribe. You know the gist. So I'm not even on the.
Let's make sure we can cancel this before we say goodbye. Bye.
I should have done that an hour ago.
Bye, guys. Happy New Year.